Nova Ray, I'm going to hurt you. I see all the redemptions. You're lurking. Peace out. Nova, Nova, Nova. First of all, thank you, Kawaii Bree, for the raid. Appreciate you for coming through. Nova Rain, Two Chopsticks, The Urban Dialogue, AR, what's up, man? What's up, man? Nova Rain and Inya, thank y'all all for being here. I am going ahead and streaming tonight on YouTube. I received some feedback or some love again from some of my YouTube folks, so I definitely wanted to reach back out and share some of the things I've been working on, some of the ideas. I'll be doing so for the next week. I know tonight, Monday, Wednesday, and maybe again on Friday of next week, I'll be dual streaming. But for tonight, though, we are talking about love. Thank you for anybody that might be in the room. I know it's Friday night. It's the end of summer going into fall. I know a lot of you have a lot of things going on. So I thank you, anybody that's spent a little time here. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? How are you? I know. I got monetized on Twitch, man. It's hard to want to be on YouTube and just grind it out when you got monetized on Twitch. So at least it's paying for itself. Like the streaming is paying for itself, at least with Twitch. With YouTube, I had a long break. I'm not at 1,000 like you, bro. Not at 1,000 like you, bro. But I did see a little bit of a stream on the Urban Dialogue. You and another lady, Foxy something, Foxy Brown. I'm looking for Foxy Brown. But yeah, is that AI art in the back? Yes, it is. And these are AI hearts. So AI art and AI hearts. Now on Twitch, I am at 1,000 followers. I am at 1,000 followers on Twitch, but we all know those are not real followers. I've got about 125. And did I say Two Chopsticks, man? Thank you for pulling through too, man. Appreciate you for coming through. I don't think I said your name. If I didn't, my bad. My bad. But they say blame it on my head, not my heart. So, with that being said, I definitely want to tell you what we're going to be talking about tonight. We are going to be talking first off, I want to talk about the Greek words for love, the 5 love languages, and a couple of others, and then some common things that we mistake for love. That's what we want to talk about tonight. Anybody that wants to come up and talk about it with me, please, you can come on up, join the dialogue. We can, bounce ideas back and forth. Of course, I'm not a love expert. I just know that we have a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions around love. So I do want to first, for myself, because I like the head bob, right? I need some music. I need some music in the background. And I'm going to pull some of my Sunday Night Vibe stuff that I stole from Straby, Chicago. Let's see. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. First off, like everybody in the chat, anybody that's still here, that's the one, I like it. I like it a lot. Anybody that's still here, I know a lot of people just jump in, pass through. Don't change the song. Oh, you're so bossy. That doesn't feel like love. That feels like demanding. Ooh, I don't know about this. I will not submit. I am not submissive. Y'all know that. But I want to bring something up first. It's a little messy. But y'all know I like a little bit of the mess. Y'all know I like a little bit of the mess. So I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of mess. It's eel. It's like eel mess. So just hang on for a second because it's definitely eel like messy. I did enjoy the stream I did earlier on Twitch. Man, it was really I enjoyed that conversation we had. So thank everybody that took part, Mezzo, Bree especially. Y'all were hanging out with your boy. But yeah, them people, it's not safe, y'all. It's not safe. But I want y'all to, like, when we talk about love and relationships, how easy it is to make some crazy mistakes. I'm just going to show y'all the headline real quick. Can y'all see that headline? Oh, wrong screen. My bad. Y'all see that headline? 30-year-old woman takes DNA test for fun, only to discover her long-term boyfriend is her full sibling. full sibling, brothers and sisters that have been given up for adoption. Y'all, we got to be more careful. Got to be more careful than that. They said, when they met, they had an instant connection. Well, yeah, your brother and sister. But people don't ask a lot of questions. They don't inquire about the people that they're dating. They don't ask a lot of questions. So tonight, we're going to ask each other a lot of questions about love specifically, not about our relationships, but about love. Yes, Cersei and Jamie. That's not fun at all. Yeah, that is scary. Yeah, I was always worried because my dad has 5 girls that I don't know, and one of them was going to school in Columbus, but I knew her name, so I knew not to date anybody with that name. But I've never met her, so that's why I said that. They're going to get downs. I catch you. I got you. Let me close that window real quick. But I thought that was interesting. When I read that, I was like, that may be that genetic, that little chemistry they might have had from having some similarities. Thought it was sparks. Man, we mistake a lot of things for love, y'all. We mistake a lot of things for love. We don't even have a dynamic language for love a lot of times. Everybody in the chat, though, name some words when we're talking about sensory perception. Like, we're talking about textures. Give me some words regarding to, like, textures, like rough, smooth, wet. What are some texture words? Throw some in the chat for me. I just want to, like, what do you call that? An example. How robust our language is about something as normal and day-to-day as texture. What are some textures that y'all have words for, language for? Hit me up. Slimy. Yep. Rough. Sandy. Scaly. Absolutely. Ashy. Oh, wow, you're being funny. You didn't slip that by me. Coarse, fine, dusty, lush, sharp. Okay. Yeah. Now look how robust and various the language is just for the things that you can touch. Just your sensory perception of things that your skin might come across. How many varieties of love do you know? How many varieties of love? What language do you have for the different loves in your life? Crunch bar-ish. Simma RRP is in the building. Now, I want y'all to know again, I said it earlier, but just in case he didn't hear it, I'm giving the man his flowers now. I am going to be on YouTube again tonight, Monday, and Wednesday for sure. Possibly next Friday. I am showing love where the love comes from. So Sim definitely showed your boy some love. I definitely want to return the favor. So I'm going to be in a space where he can access the show. We'll be on YouTube for about the next week, man. Sharing the streams. Plump. Yes. Hanifa Naila, hello. I'm definitely going to catch the replay. I was with my nephew. So I only got to pop in for a quick second when my aunt came up. But I'm going to be all over that replay. Yeah. Love. Now, when you're talking about love, a lot of us use the same word for pizza or ice cream or chocolate or love roller coasters or love a movie. But we don't have a different word for it. We don't use different language. So you love your kids and you love your phone and you love Ashford and Simpson. I couldn't think. I was having a brain fart. But you see how easy it was to come up with all these terms for all of the sensory perceptions just for your hands. It's going to be the same for your senses, for your nose, your ears. They're loud sounds. You have depth perception, so you have things that are far when you're looking and things that are bright. So we have all this language that's descriptive around our senses. But one of the things that we're always looking for, always searching for, always hoping for, always trying to obtain and maintain is love. And we don't have the same depth of language for that. I just want to know why that is. Why do you think that might be? What up to Lord Ted? What's up, bro? What's up, Brody? Appreciate y'all all for being here sincerely. And again, we're dual streaming tonight and we'll be doing the same thing. Okay. Now, what is the difference between these words? If you use these for a person, Nova, if you adore, if you treasure, if you cherish somebody, What is it? What's the difference? What's the nuance? What does it delineate? When somebody hears those words, what do they think differently than if you say love? It's not tangible. It's a feeling. Okay. Maybe that's why in Vogue talk about giving them something they can feel, right? Exactly. Exactly my point, Nova. We have very ambiguous language and understanding about the word love. The thing that all of us are searching for, that all of us hope for, that all of us, we're movies and books and everything's about love, 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 love. Songs. Wars allegedly have been fought for love. Why do we not have an idea? Why do we not have clarity for that? Do you think that leads to some of the lack of clarity in our relationships? I think there's some distinctions, but it's not nearly as varied as touch, like you're saying. Exactly. And what would you say matters more? Being able to say whether something's rough or smooth, or being able to differentiate between two types of love? What would you say mattered more in your lifetime? So I want to know, why don't we have more clear language for the things around love and relationships? We don't even have a common understanding, in spite of love having a definition in the Webster's, Merriam-Webster's, and the Oxford dictionaries. We don't have a shared understanding of what love means. Like if I say I'm enchanted by a book, I think it would be different from loving a woman. I would hope so. I would hope so. Love is a general concept, emotion. But there are levels to this, like anger and happiness. Exactly. Yep. So I want to think about that tonight with y'all. But it's super vague, because I could also say I was enchanted by a woman with plenty of different connotations. Exactly. So opening yourself up enough for me to exploit you. Breeze back at it again. That is hard. That's love. Yeah, I sure hope so. That's what's up. Okay. So what I first want to do is, let me make sure I got the love languages in here. I thought I put them in here. I had them last night. Love should have brought you home last night. Anyway, I know I typed them in here. I don't know why they're not here now. But the 5 love languages, this helped me a lot. This helped me understand different varieties on the surface of love. Like these are very simple. Like there's affection, like physical touch. There's words of affirmation. So there's like loving words, things that you speaking life into somebody. There's gifts. We all love gifts. Acts of service, like doing something for somebody. And the last one was quality time. So if you ever looked at the book, The 5 Love Languages, those are the 5 that they gave. And that helped me clarify a little bit. It didn't get me all the way there, but it did help me clarify, like, oh, when I say I love you, it's not the same thing in your mind when you say you love me. Because what I get from you is probably not exactly what you get from me. I think the issues we sometimes talk in the moment and other times talk for the long term. Absolutely. The difference is the dedication to the idea. Definitely. Had an Indonesian classmate tell me once that they don't have a specific way to people not in a non-romantic relationship. Absolutely. My love language is booty rubs. That's number 6. That will go back to affection. Affection. Can't stand you, Brie. They can't quite articulate I love you to their parents in the same way. English sums it up in those 3 words. Valid. Extra valid. For sure. First, I want to, and I should have copied and pasted these, and I wasn't planning on using StreamYard tonight, guys. My bad. I was not planning on using StreamYard. I had everything set up over in trying out Melon, but I didn't want the connection issues. So we're gonna go through the Greek words, because they have several different words too. It's too long. Crap. That might be a little too long for you. Let me see. I'm gonna have to chop this up. Give me a second. Pick this first one up, because the first one y'all might have heard before. At least I know y'all have heard of erotic. Let me change this color to, let me catch up to this. I don't like that color. Trying to get this match the background. My bad. Y'all know me. A little disorganized, but I'm gonna get there. Might stick with the pink. It's a little feminine, but tonight we going all in. All in, y'all. Cool. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. That falls under touch for sure. Greeks are freaks. People love and receive love differently. Absolutely. That's why I like the love languages. I better receive differently, or I'm going to keep up this. Stop it. Eros. Eros is the first love language. Not love language. The Greek word for love. Eros is physical love or sexual desire. Eros is the type of love that involves passion, lust, and romance. Okay, Bree's being cantankerous. The word eros is still used in psychology today to refer to sexual desire or the libido. The words erotic and erogenous, which both have to do with sexual desire or arousal, are derived from eros. So we are still using the components of that Greek in our language today. But that is the first Greek love that's separate. Like Philadelphia, that's in there. Agape, that's the one that they use in church. I don't like affection like that. Only booty rubs. Interesting. Erosion. That's my favorite cologne, Versace Eros. So the first one we had is Eros. Now, again, Eros, sexual desire, libido. A lot of people think that's love. The Greeks had a separate word for it, but a lot of people will stop there. They'll have sexual desire for somebody. It'll be passionate. It'll be strong. It's a strong motivator. It'll keep you engaged in a relationship until it doesn't. So when you stop feeling that passion, when you stop feeling the lust, when you stop feeling the romance, does that mean the love died? I don't know. But I do know that that's a problem in some of our relationships. A lot of people will say, well, I've fallen in love, but it'll be lust. It'll be that passion. It'll be those romantic feelings, those sparks in the beginning. And those typically wax and wane. They don't sustain if you don't sustain the effort. And some of the novelty. What is love? You want the Nova. I can't stand you. Yeah, I know, right? I know. He got me. And I was getting ready to answer the question, like, did he want me to put up the definition? And he got me. So you can't mess with Nova. Can't mess around with Nova. Philia. Let me copy and paste that in there. Give me a second, y'all. Good old Nova. You got me, y'all. Can't stand Nova. We are gonna fight. 200. Still too long. I swear these Give me a second. Alright, Philia, give me a second. Gotta copy and paste this in bits. Oh. Ooh, that was close. I should copy and paste this in the Word and share that screen. Okay, that'd be easier. Give me a second, y'all. So, philia is a affectionate love. The one that Bree says she don't like that. My bad. Let me check these comments real quick. Philia is affectionate love. Philia is a type of love that involves friendship. Philia is the kind of love that strong friends feel toward each other. Oh, I said when I saw affection, I assumed affection. I wasn't thinking ahead. Philia is the kind of love that strong friends feel towards each other. However, it doesn't stop there. In I cut off the C. The Greek philosopher Plato thought that philia was an even greater love than eros, and that the strongest loving relationships were ones where philia led to eros, a friends become lovers situation. Our concept of platonic love that isn't based on physical attraction comes from this platonic philosophy. The word philia is related to the word philosophy through the combining form philo. Philia itself is the source of the combining forms philia, philo, and phili, all three of which are used to indicate a figurative love or affinity for something. That's another type of love that the Greeks had. Philia. Oh, gee, Patrice, greetings and salutations. Do enjoy the new avatar. I know it's been a while. So we transition through these different types of love because one can go from philia to eros real quick. Absolutely. And you may go the other way. And I think a lot of these loves overlap. I think we have bits and pieces of all of them or some and none. And a lot of times what we'll do is categorize the thing. We'll say love generally, but we'll be experiencing some different form. We may be speaking differently from the other. One person may be eros and one person may be philia. Like that I'm getting friend zoned. I'm thinking about you romantically, but you're thinking about me like, you're kind of like a brother to me. So I think a lot of times, even though we may love each other, we've been so general that we're speaking kind of past each other. And when we use love in these conversations about relationship, what are we talking about? There's a lot of times we talk about, well, marriage shouldn't be about love. Okay. There are some loves that we're going to get to that are more pragmatic in nature. Well, you would think then that there could still be love if you understood it differently. So again, I do want to open up, I want to copy and paste. Give me a second, y'all. All of this here. Formatting is going to be trash, I'm sure. Yep. Shout out to Sheree B Chicago, man. I love when she was doing that Sunday Night Vibes. Would you say that we think as falling out of love, maybe just transitioning from one to another? Absolutely. And then there's also the lack of love, because that would be on a spectrum. It could be on, and I think there's like a full range of maybe spectrums, because there's also the absence of love. Maybe when you just fall out of love, maybe you do go from one state to another, or maybe you really only loved in one category, and when that fizzled out, there was nothing left. Hanifa is based. Absolutely. Hanifa is super based. Absolutely. And based is a good thing, Hanifa. I don't know exactly what it means, but I know it's good. All right, let me share the screen. And let me, that way I don't have to keep copying and pasting. Let me switch this overlay. All right, y'all. Let me go. Hold that. All right, y'all. All right. Back to class. We went through eros. We went through philia. We are now at agape. We got what's up, knowledge and relationships. M3 is in the building, man. Appreciate you for coming through. I'm gonna take notes, Nova, so you can be smooth. That's up. All right, cool. All right, cool. So agape, everybody. Agape is an unconditional love that is not dependent on any external factors. Unconditional love. It does exist. Acts of charity and altruism are often born out of agape love. It seems fair to argue that a society without agape would be unable to function, as we are dependent on one another as a species. Highlight this one. Boom. Agape is the least selfish, which means there's a range of selfishness of love and does not require anything in return. However, it does also often result in immense benefits to the one practicing it, not just in terms of people reciprocating it with love or rewards, but benefits for the mental and emotional well-being of the practitioner. Practicing agape love can often increase self-love and higher levels of healthy self-love usually result in an increased ability to feel and show agape. It is a cycle, it's an algorithm. This is also supposed to be the Christian model of love, agape love, unconditional love. So, Bree, I'm not capping, it does exist. Yes, like Santa Claus. I'm joking. Bree doesn't believe, Bree says unconditional love doesn't exist unless it's for your children, which I think is a little bit of a problem within relationships too. What's up, Big Rig Slaps? I was watching Knowledge and Relationships the other night. I didn't see you on there, but I came in late. So I did see you, Brody. Be easy. So hopefully everything's going well with you, bruh. Hopefully everything's going well. I mean, do people feel like they're loved? That's a great question, Bree. A lot of people start to complain. They complain about the love they're receiving. I believe the first thing is they speak different love languages. Oh, absolutely. If you want the link, let me know. Give me a second. I'm dropping that now. Everything's Velveeta. That's what's up. Everything's cheesy. No, you smooth. Everything's smooth. You're altruistic because I feed people. I can't stand you. You're porn starring me and I give you some bread. Do you feel love if I leave you 2 seconds later? It depends. It depends. See, we're also talking about, and this is another issue, the giving of love and the receiving of love. So we have the internal and the external as well. There are multiple dimensions to this question. And we don't have language that talks about all of the dimensions, all of the aspects of love. So when we're talking about it, we're talking in all kinds of different ways. It don't always provide a lot of clarity. What's up, Hanifa? What is up? Hey.
Hi.
How you doing tonight?
I'm okay. Winding down. You know when I can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, when I get off of alive, I have to like decompress. So
okay.
I'm literally in the bed chilling. But I had questions. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Wonderful. Even more wonderful now. How are you?
I'm good. I just had a quick question because I wasn't sure if you understood what I was asking.
Okay.
So the transition, are you saying that we go between these different types of love? So if that's the case, what I was asking is, do you think that maybe when we say, oh, I fell out of love with this person, that maybe it's just a transition from one type of love to another, but because we don't recognize all these different types of love and we think there's only one kind, that we just, like for example, I don't think that you ever really when stuff happen mutually, when two people go their separate ways, like it's a mutual understanding, I think there's still a level of love there. That's why some people are able to be friends after intimate relationships, because there's still a certain level of love, but there's a different type of love. So I was asking, do you think that when people say I fell out of love, is it that they just have a hard time making a connection to like different expressions of love? Like we're only locked into one. And because we're only locked into one, it's hard to recognize that there are other expressions. So because we are unable to recognize them, we just chuck it to, I just fell out of love with the person. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Like even without the Greek language, when I heard the 5 love languages, I recognize that same pattern. Like we don't even sometimes understand that we're receiving love if it doesn't come the way we're expecting it. So a lot of it is about expectation and the mental model of what love is for you. So some people will be like, you don't love me if you don't give me gifts. But I'm constantly doing things for you. I'm just taking care of this. I'm taking care of that. And you're like, I don't feel loved because you're not receiving tangible goods, or you're not receiving money, or the bills aren't being paid. But I'm doing all kinds of work. I'm putting in all kinds of effort and all kinds of time, right? But they don't feel loved because their mental model of love means I'm getting gifts, because maybe that's the way they got love from their every time. Birthdays, holidays, somebody came over, they got a gift. So that's the only way they see love. So if I'm affectionate, they may not appreciate it. My words, they may say, well, words are cheap, but gifts last forever. You know what I'm saying? They may have all kinds of little things in their head. So if I show them a different type of love, this is the first step. If it's a different type of love, they may not even respect it. But then, like you said, if it's a passionate love, and then it falls more to a friendship love, they may not see it as love as well. So we may still have a love, but it's not a love that they respect or value. So they're like, I fell out of love. And the love that I have for them is not something I value or want to maintain. It's not, we don't even see it as love.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you said something really important, which is the respect and the value placed on that love. Is it? Yeah, that's what it is. That's a good way to put that, Ashan. Because if you only place value on one type of expression of love, then when it shows up in other capacities, I literally feel that that's partially why people don't understand that people can have platonic relationships, like friendships. I'm talking about different genders, and love that person like that, right? Without the need for the erotic. Do you get what I'm saying? Like people, we can't begin to wrap our minds around that, because it's like, no, dude, you like her because you want to hit that. You know what I mean? And and I think it's because we think in our male-female relationships, they only can be built off of eros. You know what I mean? Like Absolutely. It can't be built off of, I guess the one that you just said is what, philia?
Yep, philia.
Yep. Philia.
Like Philadelphia, you know, brotherly love. Mm-hmm. That like no greater love than to lay down your life for a friend. Like that's
Okay. That was what I wanted to come up and say.
Appreciate that, Hanifa. You sticking off, or you dropping off to continue decompressing?
I'm gonna come off. If I have to come back up, I will though.
Absolutely. I'll be here.
Alrighty. Okay.
All right, y'all. Let me read Nova Rain's comment. Bow. Yes, we did talk about this before. But language both describes, it clarifies and hides. It clarifies and obscures. It describes and obfuscates. Use the big words, so I'm using synonyms. I wonder if we have less words for love to obfuscate the type of love, because it's more comfortable to avoid the friction of ensuring absolute equality of love in relationships. Woo! Of all kinds, because we realize how dynamic it can be. That could be. Maybe we're hiding behind the obscurity. We're hiding behind the ambiguity to keep from confronting the difficulty. Because that is something that we have a problem with in relationships. People wanting to give the effort in the relationship, the effort to the other person, the effort to themselves, the effort to building. There's a lot of effort deficiency in today's society. A lot of. Yeah, no need to apologize ever, man. You know that. Yeah, some people don't think that kind of love exists. And we have more types to go through, y'all. We have more types. And it's sad because I have amazing male friends. It's easier just to say love you, bro, to a good friend and specify exactly what type of love is mutually shared. And if it's equal, especially at early stages of meeting people. Now, what I will say is a lot of times we do specifically, especially for guys, we'll say you're my brother to indicate, like it'll be a friend or somebody that we've had a long time. It's not a familial relationship. It's not blood at all. But we'll say you're my brother, or you're like a brother to me, to indicate philia, that we're talking about brotherly love, that deep friend bond. So we do use other language for some things. What's up, Wale? Yeah. So I think in some ways we found ways around having a different word for love. We'll just give people a title that indicates the type of love that we have for them. Thank you, OG Patrice. If y'all feel so inclined, y'all can drop a like for your boy. I feel like agape is real, but seems very one way. It seems like it holds no value on how loved the other party feels or shared feeling. Absolutely. And I don't think all love has to. I don't think all of the love has to be an expression of both parties simultaneously. The love you feel is valid. Like the love you feel is valid. Like requited love. Like if you do have an eros type of love for somebody, you feel that love completely. You might even be consumed by it. It's totally real for you, even if the person doesn't return it. So I think it's okay to have language that describes your experience outside of what the other person is experiencing in reciprocity, whatever, in reflection to how you feel. I think there is I think we can do that. Is that related to how some black people refer to other black people as brothers and sisters? Yes. So there's a kinship sometimes, like a skinship, so to speak. But they also say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. So I mean, there's a duality that people fight with. There's a shared experience that people have and cling to of any group. But then there's also the fact that within any group you have dissension. So everybody has that same friction. We want cohesion, but we find friction. Like Mr. Rucker, love the prenup first. What he's talking about is a love we're going to get to. I think it's called pragmia or pragmatia. Anyway, he's talking about a pragmatic love, but we're going to get to that. Let me pull this back up. I like the side angle right here. I like the side action. The side action. We're going to go to storge. Agape, we did that. That's the Christian love. Storge. Boom. Storge can be classified as a variation of philia. Relates to love within a family. While the care and devotion of storge is an integral part of philia's connection, it may also be one-sided. To Bree's point, an excellent example of storge is when a parent cares for a child, makes them feel secure, comfortable, safe, like those key words, secure, comfortable, safe, and does not expect anything in return. Although storge may seem like an antidote to eros, they both tend to be highly natural, biological, and instinctual. Storge usually occurs between married couples who are raising a family together. This form of love is valued in Western culture, particularly within the Christian faith. All right, so now we have the familial love. And Be Easy, that dude is in the building. What is up, bro? I was just watching a little bit of you, Mr. Best, M3, and I saw Queen before she dropped off, Queen Forever, on Knowledge and Relationship. So I was listening to y'all, and I do like the new, you had a new avatar. I like that. That was clean. Never heard Storge before. Exactly. But these are Greek words, Inya. These are Greek words. See, this is what you mean when you say unconditional, but somebody else might mean philia. That's how complicated love is. And I don't think we give it the respect that it's due. I think we need to put more respect on love's name, so to speak. I think love should be a name, not an idea. It's a name. It's a proper name. And that person, the person of love, has a full body of aspects and characteristics and traits. And I think we need to respect that. It has different roles for different people. I think we need to be more thoughtful about when we talk about love. We need to be more complete in our description. Now we got mania. I know y'all can guess what that is. Mania is obsessive love. Mania is the kind of love that a stalker feels toward their victim. It can be combined with sexual and hedonistic eros and ludus, which we have not gotten to, but will hardly accompany pragma or philia. Mania often manifests through anxiety, emotional instability, jealousy, and possessiveness. These days, mania and its derivative, manic, are used in the field of psychiatry to describe components of certain mental illnesses, as well as being used in the less formal settings to define hyper-obsession or fixation. It is also the source of the combining form mania, which is often used in words that refer to obsessive behavior, such as pyromania and egomania. Yeah, mania. That's an obsessive type of love, but an unbalanced, unhinged type of love. It's over the top. Over the top. How's Colette being? Over the top. I haven't seen her in these streets like recently. These Greeks, I know. But a lot of things that, at least the way they thought about it in my mind, was a little bit more robust and descriptive. All of it might not have been a positive aspect of love, but love, it makes sense to have some sort of negative aspects because we have so many crimes of passion. So there has to be some sort of negative angle or negative bent to love. bucking the trend. The word ludus, ludus comes from the Latin rather than the Greek. In Latin, ludus means game or play, which fits with the type of love it refers to. One possible Greek equivalent is the one word meaning courtship. Ludus is playful, non-committal love. Ludus covers things like flirting, teasing, seduction, and casual sex. Ludus means, again, I might have duplicated some of this. Ludus means play or game in Latin, and that pretty much explains that, yeah, I did duplicate this one from a separate second source. And it's pretty much explains that ludus, love is a game. So when it comes to ludus, a person is not looking for a committed relationship. People who are after ludus are just looking to have fun or view sex as a prize to be won. A friend with benefit situation would be an example of a relationship built on ludus. Neither partner is interested in commitment. Of course, ludus may eventually result in eros, and hopefully not mania, if feelings of passion or romance emerge during the relationship. Ludus shares many qualities with eros, but it is not limited to physical or sexual relationships. Ludus love can also comprise non-sexual activities such as dancing, drinking, and other sensory pleasures that one can enjoy. Another side of the same coin, love being the coin. So that's ludus. Okay, the ludus is related to the playful ludicrous. Now this is Mr. Rucker. Oh, Mr. Rucker! I love that little drop he does. Pragma is practical love. Pragma is love based on duty, obligation, or logic. Pragma is the unsexy love that you find in the political arranged marriages throughout history. The business-like love is seen in relationships where practicality takes precedence over sex and romance. For example, two people may be in a relationship because of financial reasons or because they have more to lose by breaking up than staying together. Pragma may even involve a person tolerating or ignoring their partner's infidelity, as was common in politically motivated royal marriages in much of world history. Pragma may not sound all that great to many, but it is possible for pragma to coexist alongside other types of love, such as ludus, even eros. As you might have guessed, pragma is related to pragmatic, a word that is all about practicality. Pragma love is perhaps the most difficult to develop and maintain, as it requires continual effort, which is where a lot of us fail. Dedication, a lot of us fail. And often selflessness, a lot of us fail right there. However, the results are often extremely worthwhile in the long term. Even arranged marriages have been sustained and made satisfying through pragma, and many failing relationships have been saved through that pragmatic and practical type of love. That's what a lot of people fall back to. What they say, when the passion fades, you fall back on that pragmatic. Okay, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this make sense. All right, we got somebody. I don't know who this is, y'all. So we're gonna take a risk, y'all. We're gonna take a risk. All right, who might this be?
What's up, Sean?
Simon. What's going on, Simon?
How you doing?
What's up, Quantum? I'm good, Simon. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good. Goody.
I see you got a new company name, bro?
It's the company cat.
Yes, what's up? Interesting logo there, buddy. Interesting logo.
Yeah, we keep the company we keep. It's important.
Absolutely, man. So what you got on the topic, bro?
Love is a deep thing. It's a real deep thing. I think, especially within the last 2 years, people have really gotten away from love. They don't really know what love is. And I guess, to an extent, we've been having these whole conversations about relationships, but not talking about love. Now, we talk about relationships, but we don't talk about love. We talk about friendships, we don't talk about love. We talk about like interactions, we don't talk about love. Where did we miss out love? I swear to God, like in the 1970s, that was the whole thing. It was just like, God damn, you need to be in love. Crazy. I'm trying to stop saying crazy. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We all have certain terms, fallback terms for things that we don't understand. Because I use weird a lot. Mine is weird. But I really get it right. And now that I look at these Greek words, when I look at the Greek words, even the things that we're arguing about in relationships, like when people are like, hey, man, marriage ain't about love, it's about business. Well, pragma love is another type of love that would be about business. So even the things we're arguing to me, comes from a lack of comprehension of what love could be if we had a broader understanding.
Yeah. I mean, even like just understanding that, like, Septimus Severus was like first black. He was the first black emperor of Rome. That's our black history in terms of like timelines. We don't even acknowledge that, because what happens is we see we go to museums, history museums and all the rest of it, and we see a statue, and most of the time the statue is like either in like gold or concrete, but there's no way that we can understand that they were black. So what it is we refer that to everything else that we're taught in education, that every Greek statue is not black, whereas that was really our first black president. He was an emperor in Rome. Look that shit up, man. The black curriculum is here. I appreciate y'all, Sean. God damn.
Man, appreciate you too, man. I don't know if you're going to stay up or if you want to hang down, but let me go through a couple more of these real quick, because there's only a few more. So we got I don't know how to pronounce this one. I'm just say Meraki, all right? Or Merakai, one of these two. But Meraki love is creative endeavors. The Greek word Meraki, I don't know how to read it in Greek. It means to do something with love, creativity, and devotion. When you wholeheartedly put yourself into what you are doing. Like when you put your foot in that dish, you put your foot in that. Meraki is often used to describe creative or artistic expressions such as painting, singing, oh, she had the anointing, or composing music. Also, it can manifest in cooking, decorating a room, or nicely setting up a table. So Meraki is when you pour like your soul, your essence into something so much that it's an expression of love. So that's another thing that we don't talk about. You do not have to paint a gorgeous portrait of your partner or compose a stunning piece of music for them to express your love. Making it even a nice dinner is a perfect manifestation of Meraki or Merakai. Merakai sounds better. I like that. I like that one. Real quick, let me read this last. Might be the last one. Let me see. Ooh, it's a long one though. All right, cool. Philautia sounds a little bit too much like something else, but Philautia is self-love. Now listen, if y'all been following me, anybody on Twitch, it sounds, y'all know we be saying I'm an autosexual. I like to look at myself. So self-love, Philautia is self-love. It says like, no, that not that kind. Philautia refers to how a person views themselves and how they feel about their own body and mind. The modern equivalent of Philautia would be something like self-esteem or hubris. So in the good and the bad aspect, we talk about a spectrum. The good end of this version of love, which again, love is on a spectrum, and within this type of love, there's another spectrum. So inside of Philautia, there's self-esteem on the high end, and then hubris on the bad end, on the negative side of it. People with high self-esteem and pride in themselves, or a positive body image, practice healthy versions of Philautia. Of course, Philautia has a dark side too. Egomaniacal narcissists who think they are better than everybody else are also an example of Philautia, but not in a healthy way. The duality of Philautia just goes to show that love, even self-love, can get pretty complicated. The Greek philosopher Aristotle believed that self-love Philatia is a prerequisite. Now, we often say you got to love yourself before you love anybody else. Philatia is a prerequisite to loving others, and that was back in the ancient Greek days. Aristotle said that. Healthy self-love is beneficial to every aspect of life, including relationships. And individuals who love themselves are usually more capable of both giving and receiving all kinds of love. Many destructive behaviors in a relationship can often be rooted in a lack of self-love. However, self-love can quickly turn into an unhealthy form when a person loves themselves more than anyone else. Unhealthy self-love can be expressed through an inflated ego and usually dependent on social status, abilities, accomplishments, rather than genuine virtues. Healthy self-love is defined by self-esteem that is not dependent on status or competition with others. Instead, it is based more on forgiveness and acceptance. Fugging. We talk about fugging on my channel. Forgive, understand, and give grace. So that is what Philatia is based on. People with a healthy level of self-love are not arrogant, even though I say I'm arrogant, I know, and do not hold themselves superior to others, but are resilient and accepting of their limitations without feeling ashamed of them. No shame. These people are less likely to seek external validation through compulsive behaviors, and as a result, can devote themselves better to a relationship. Bend the knee. That's right, Bree. What you think about that, Simon? If you still there.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm still here. Repeat that little part that you said about.
Man, which part? That was a lot, man. That was a whole lot.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
That was lovely. You like that? All right.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's really good.
Let me read this part real quick, man. Greek is one of the richest languages in the world with an extensive vocabulary, and maybe we need to develop a better emotional vocabulary for ourselves. However, love is often more complicated than any words can describe. Although Greek philosophers attempted to classify different types of love, in reality, its forms and manifestations tend to blur and blend in various combinations. Thankfully, there are many ways that you can nurture and cultivate these, leading to happier and healthier connections and more fulfilling life. Knowing Greek words for love and recognizing different types of love may help you improve yourself and your relationship. And I'm sure your partner will appreciate that cup of tea that you prepare with Marikai. All right. Let me hit these chats real quick. Thank you for all these words so you can leave me alone about unconditional love. Hey, I already knew unconditional love exists. I mean, you the one fighting it. I don't know why. Critically drinking with Rashawn. I don't know what that meant. But appreciate you for coming up, Simon. So, man, what is up with you, man? What do you think about these words? I'm not going back into that last one because I said a lot about that one. But as far as the different aspects of love, man, what do you think about that? I know you said we talk about relationships, but don't talk about love. But do you think a better understanding of love would help us in these conversations?
Love's difficult. Love's real difficult. I think it's a very misconstrued word. And it's taken very lightly, in every sort of sense of the way. So it's like, I think if you're growing up as a young black man, for example, you may take love as a thing that's a letter in a bottle that you can just have set and move along the waves. You get it sort of like this thing that like men sort of see women in a particular type of way, so they associate love with women ultimately, right? That's your first love, whether that's your mother, whether that's your first girl or thing or whatever. It's a deep connection in the first instance, but then what you start to realize is that's surface level stuff, because it's all kind and polite, and we're doing the thing. No problems here. But what a lot of men in particular do not understand, and what I found is that there's so much of a deeper level to this sort of stuff, in terms of it comes back to the family, it comes back to the home, it comes back to what you've been taught. If you can't translate what you've been taught in the house and what you've been taught in the home to an external stranger who you're willing to like turn around and say, look, I'm in love with you, come into my household, come into my situation, come into our life, that could be real problematic very quickly, because they've not lived your life, although they're buying into it. So it's just like, I find like a lot of conversations that go on these YouTube streets and whatnot, like people don't really get that sort of stuff. They're quite willing to just jump into situations and see how it works out without actually sort of mapping it out. They're not about to go, well, how's this going to work out in about 10 years? How's this going to work out in about 25 years? How's this going to work out forever? How's this going to affect our children? I find, you know, when I say problematic, I don't say that personally. I just see it. There's a lot of waste in terms of our thought processes. We could be better than this. There's no reason why we're not. We've got so much ammunition to our disposal in terms of how we can counter all of this stuff. We've had leaders, we've had people before us. There's so much. Even you, Arshawn, do you get what I'm saying? Like, just tune into Arshawn's channel. He be giving you some game, but do people want to actually take that on board? I don't know. You've made me rant for a while, boy.
Hey man, listen, I appreciate you coming up and sharing. You know, a lot of people don't like coming up and getting on cam and all that, so I do appreciate it. You know, most people stay avatars, so I appreciate you coming up and sharing your piece. I do want to ask a few more questions. You'll be the first one to answer, and people in the chat. Now, listen, I got this from, I think it was Bell Hooks. She gave somebody's definition of love as to express care, affections, responsibility, respect, commitment, and trust. So love has to encompass these different aspects. Now, of all the things we talked about, of course, like responsibility might be pragma, affections might be eros or ludos or whatever it was, express care might be agape. So these things kind of translate across the different things we talked about. But there are multiple components to love that should all be present if you have a full love. Like the Greeks had different forms of love. You can have an incomplete love or a poorly adapted love, like mania. It's easy to do. We've seen a lot of people that really think they love somebody. Sometimes it's like, I fell in love with Taylor Swift and I'm going to follow her across the country, and then you end up getting arrested because you're a maniac. So we need to understand love differently, and that things can be pitched into the selfish or the selfless, the positive or the negative, the external or the internal. We need to have a better dynamic understanding of love. Another thing Bell Hooks offered in her book was to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth, which I did like as well. So what I got from Kawaii Bree was taking an active role and investing in the outcomes and well-being of another person. So again, that sounds a lot like the philia and the storge and maybe even the agape. But another word I got from Bell Hooks, which I had never heard before in my life, was to cathect. to invest with mental or emotional energy, the state of cathexis. So when you meet somebody, right? When you meet somebody and you get caught up, or maybe you didn't, like even a work buddy, like somebody you've been working with for a long time, you start to invest mental energy into people. Sometimes you invest emotional energy into people. And that sometimes gets mistaken for love, just because we've put some kind of energy. And I like to use the poker term, pot committed, or what is that? I know Nova. There's a financial term. There's a financial term, Nova, when you invest so much. Sunk cost fallacy. I've put some kind of energy or money, or I've put some kind of something into a person. I've invested into the person mentally, emotionally, some kind of way. I must be involved with that. I must love them. I must care. I must do something. Otherwise, why would I involve myself? Why would I invest? So we need that word. So we need to also understand that sometimes we are in cathexis. We are cathecting a person. I have invested mental energy into you, so maybe I think I have mistaken that for some form of love. But I just think about you maybe because you inspired me, or maybe some other thing. But we'll start thinking it's love or something else. So I think that might also be a thing that happens when people are, hey, look at you. That's something that we also do out here when we're making mistakes about love and relationships. So I wanted to bring those principles at play before we skip to the next section, because I want to ask everybody some things that we might be mistaken for love. So I know I've heard people at the beginning of a relationship, they might say things like, I like, or they may say, I care about, or they may say, I have feelings for. Then eventually, when they're really comfortable, they'll be like, I love you. And it's this big thing. I love you. You know, so, and then, well, I care about you, but I'm not ready to say I love you just yet. You know, we make this real big thing about love because we think that's the ending. But as we talked about, there's so many phases of love. That's not the ending. It's just another phase, another aspect. So maybe even with that small change, we might be able to come out of that fear of saying, I love you, because I can love you like I love all people with that agape love. Or I can love you like I love my brother. So it doesn't have to be some grand thing. I love you. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy. It can be a common understanding that we all do commonly, because we all share probably some version of one of those categories of love, even if it's the playful love, or you do something for them that Meraki love. You put your foot in that dish at Thanksgiving for your entire family. So we probably need to stop thinking about it mystically and start having a practical love that we can relate better. In my mind, we can relate better. What you got, Simon?
God damn. I'm sorry. God damn. You're a freaking like whole-born miracle. I swear to God, this is different. Like you, I'm sorry, I gotta express this because I don't even know if I'm gonna have another opportunity to talk to you. So God damn. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just our connectivity. Maybe it's just what's going on like in these times. And I don't want to stray from your platform, so I'm gonna get the fuck off. But boy, you're the guy. You're the guy. God damn, you're the guy.
Hey, you said I'm a dime. You said I'm a dime, man. I'm a dime.
You're the don't take that the wrong way. Just continue with what you're doing.
No, I enjoyed it. No.
Listen, give me a minute. I need to sometimes, like when I go on certain things and I speak to certain people, I need to take a couple of days out just to think about it. And I appreciate you having me up. And I give me an opportunity to come back in a couple of days.
Yeah. I'll be back on Monday and Wednesday.
Listen, viewers, listen to this guy. This guy is he is that. He's the thing. You know. I'm gonna stop, man. There's not many people that can make me stop. I'm gonna stop. Sure, a couple of days. God damn. That's why we should have done this in the first place. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is, and you got your own mind. So I love the background theme tune.
Appreciate the kind words, Simon, man. Appreciate the kind words. So,
Catch you
see you
later.
next time, bro. See you next time. Yep. I do want to get to Nova's comment here. I just imagine all the friction and arguments that would happen as a result of constant imbalances as a relationship develops. Oh, but Nova, wait. We're already having friction and arguments from the constant imbalances as a relationship develops. That's what we're already having. But if we had language to explain what the imbalance is, then maybe people could make a mental decision if they were willing to deal with that imbalance, what type of balance it is. Is it a healthy imbalance? How far apart are they? We would have a guidepost. We would have a way to get across these divides that separate us in a relationship. If we knew this is where you stand, this is where I stand, how can I navigate between the two? Is this a type of love that can develop that I have that you don't? Is this something that waxes and wanes over time? Man, is this an effort love? So we need to actually, I think if we have the language, and I know Kawhi agrees with me because she keeps talking about men need to develop language and articulate their emotions. If it makes sense for men to develop their language, my bad. It makes sense for everybody to develop the language. It only makes sense. So person A and person B can both arrive at a destination, love, but it doesn't mean they get there at the same pace. Exactly. And do they even derive at the same love? And do they need to? Do they even need to be in the same love? If one person is in Storge, one person is in Pragma, they might look very similar. Do they need to get to the specificity of the exact same love? Maybe one of them is in Eros and one of them is in Ludus. I mean, how, if we had language and an understanding with the language? I know I introduced a lot of different words today, so we don't really have a framework for it. It's not ingrained in our thought process. But if we have the same understanding, the same way we went over those textures, if I said something was smooth or rough, if we had the same understanding of these Greek words, if I said something was slimy or wet or cool to the touch, if we have the same understanding of the different variations of love that we did with texture, could we navigate it better? If partners are constantly disputing each other's love level before they reach the destination, I think it'd be counterproductive. And again, that's what we're doing already. I don't feel connected to you. I don't think you love me. We're already fighting over the different love levels. I love you. Well, I don't believe you get married for love. You get married because it's business. We're already having that fight. We just don't have the language for it. We don't have the language. Yeah. Men have a language. What's that language, Wally? You hate me? I know, my bad. No, it doesn't look stupid. But your comment is from the space that accepts that the current model is better than any alternatives. And that's what a lot of us do. Anytime we have a status quo, anytime we have a system that's already in place, our mind is cognitive ease. Our mind wants to stick with what's easy, what we already know, no matter how dysfunctional it is. Our mind will want to stick with it because we already have pathways for it. All of this new stuff is confusing. It makes me tingly. Oh, I can't think about it. It makes it hard to concentrate. Your brain has to process new words. We don't even have the correct pronunciation for them. So our mind kind of wants to reject it. No. I'd rather do the old way that's already not working because that makes sense to me. Yes, we're rehearsed in dysfunction. We have a perfectly dysfunctional system and we're okay staying with it as opposed to doing any of the work to build a better system. And it doesn't just happen in love. We talk about economics quite a bit. But that's what we're doing. So it's not a stupid comment. It's a comment from the place that, you know what I currently do makes more sense because I've been doing it so long. Something new, I don't know. Sounds all up in the air. That's some of that hippity hop. All human language has one basic limitation. Its words are descriptions of or labels for various types of sensory experience. Absolutely. That is a problem. And at some level, there's always going to be some level of interpretation that people are going to mess up. We're always going to have some we can't directly impart our thoughts and feelings into another person. But words are the closest approximation of that. Words, gestures, body language. But if we're already messing up, if we're already failing, why wouldn't we do something different? If you see yourself careening off a cliff, like, I don't know, maybe I should steer away from the cliff. Well, no matter which way, I might still go off the cliff, but you know you're going to go off this way. Why would you keep doing it? I got that question. But I have other questions first. I want to talk to you about what are some things that you think. What are some things that you think we mistake for love? Even in the languages which have the largest vocabularies, all concrete terms are limited to describing things and activities within a range of senses, and all abstract terms are derived directly from the field of sensory experience. Yeah. But still say we need to try. We need to try. Because right now what we're doing ain't it. Attention, definitely. Now, attention. I just want to, because I got that on my list. Let me see if we're going to get rid of that. I know, now this is not a shot, but it says, I know why it says, I love those that love me. When I thought about attention, that was the first thing that came to my head. There are people that if you love them, like that philatia, they love themselves. So if you love them also, they'll take that as love. I know it's very easy to do. You think if somebody's giving you attention, which is how predators take advantage of people that have a predatory nature, pickup artists, they give select and specific and targeted attention to make you feel the feelings that you might mistake for love. That's the manipulative bent. So attention is definitely something that people mistake for love. People that love bomb are using all of that robust, that constant attention to make you feel love. That's exactly what that is as well. What about jealousy, Brie? You think jealousy could be something that people feel and might mistake for love? What about jealousy? Because that's something else that we use to manipulate people. Well, let them see me with somebody else. What y'all think about that? Jealousy? Because somebody can be indifferent. Somebody can be indifferent until they're seen with somebody else. Like a child with a toy. It's not interested until somebody else plays with it. Obsession. That's that mania. Absolutely. Time. People who are spending time with you. Now, here's the thing with time. And this is why let me go through these one at a time. Obsession. Like somebody that has that mania. Their constant obsession and attention to you, it may feel like love. If you enjoy that feeling, because it'll be like the attention. But with the obsession, they might be giving you gifts as well. They might be lavishing things on you. And then it'll feel like maybe some exotic need for you. You know, it may feel romantic that they need you so much. Obsession is a good one. Time. People spending time with you. I know even in this online social space, the parasocial relationships that develop because somebody's spending so much time with you, people can sometimes mistake that for love. I remember when Steve came back on Twitter from Blue's Clues and my cousin was crying, I was like, I don't know. That's kind of weird. But if you spend so much time in your childhood or even in your adulthood around somebody, that proximity, you can start to feel close to them. You know their thoughts, you know their feelings, you might know a lot about their life. Easy to mistake. Money. Yes, people throwing money at you. Super chats, gifts, donations. Money can definitely make people think you love them. That's like that acts of gifts, love language. So, I mean, it's definitely, money can definitely be mistaken. People that spend money on you. Easy thing to mistake for love. Yeah, even though somebody's spending time, could be how they show love. It could be. Or they could be spending time because they're bored. They might just be bored and you're available. And then you'll think they love you and you love them, but it's just they're bored. You're an activity to them. But it's easy to make those mistakes. So maybe that one isn't good. But even in jobs, people think time spent in a job means there's some caring. Absolutely. But they usually don't care. Time does not mean you love something. A lot of us spend a lot of time doing things we don't want to do with people we don't want to do it with. Until you set up some boundaries and the ability to say no to people, a lot of us say yes to things we don't want to do. We'll spend a lot of time. We'll sign up for a lot of commitments that we don't want anything to do with. I mean, people marry people they don't even like. Don't even like them. If the average person spends money on someone, aren't they really spending another form of time on you? It is. Money is another form of energy or time or whatever word you want to say. It's in exchange for it. Which is why I do want to talk about at some point, not today, because a lot of these guys like to talk about women and how they require certain amounts of money, or you got to spend certain amounts of money on dates, and guys like to call that prostitution. Well, anything that you're doing or having done on your behalf in exchange for time and money would then be prostitution. Well, I would say there's prostitution too. Like homosexuals, dudes that are living with women to have a place to stay or to have access to their car or to have somebody to cook and clean for them, they're prostituting themselves. They are prostitutes. So we're going to talk about that at some point too, because they like to shame women. They love shaming women around these parts. But we're going to talk about them. The truth of the matter is that ordinary speech will not serve to convey these kinds of love from one mind to another. On the other hand, he who has had the experience finds that he has no difficulty in understanding the words. I'm going to disagree with you something. I understand there's a practical understanding. Like I know in church they say head knowledge and heart knowledge. You're talking about the difference between head knowledge and heart knowledge, like book learning and practical application. Those who have the practical knowledge from experience will have no difficulty in understanding the words that they convey. I'm with you there. The first part, we still have to have, we still teach people out of textbooks before they have the practical knowledge, so they can develop a mental framework of the articulation into the practical. They take the articulation into the practical. Yes, somebody who has the practical knowledge will say, oh, that's the word for this. That makes sense. And I can adopt that word for the thing that I already have experience with. But I think for as far as social engineering or constructing people who grow into functional adults, we could have healthier relationships by giving book learning on love and relationships. Give them the articulation. Give them the words that convey thoughts that they learn through experience and then can map it out. But I think you should start with the articulation, because the other way is trial and error. I think we can direct people towards better things through articulation. I mean, because we don't send our children through life not telling them things first and then giving them the experience. I mean, that's what we do. We tell them things first. We explain the words first and then let them experience as much as we can safely. We don't send them out with no understanding to experience first and learn the hard way. I'm saying we adopt the same teaching tools for love, where we teach people the words so that they can articulate and better express their thoughts. That way, when they experience, it gets richer. It's a richer understanding. But that's where I would disagree. You're right on the principles, but I think we can, it's a better model. In my opinion, it's not tested out, but I know we do it with other things. We teach first and then experience later. Time, paper equals money. Yeah, it's just not worth as much as spending quality time in the present, because the present always has a capacity to be the end. Now, what is that in relation to? Oh, I missed that. If the average person spends money on someone, aren't they really spending another form of time? Yeah, it's just not worth as much as spending quality time in the present, because the present always has the capacity to be the end. I'm not sure exactly how you meant that. Sign paper. Sure. Passport. See, here's the problem. No matter where you go, there you are. There you are. If you take your passport and find a woman, she will probably be just as unhappy as anybody you would find in America. Because the problem's not her, it's you. The problem's not her, it's you. That's the problem with that. The hell passport I did. Every guy, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna come at this another way. Let's consider that a woman is a resource. Let's consider that a woman is a resource. The same way that we consider money, the same way consider money is a resource. A lot of guys talk about they want a woman because they will also provide some things that save time. They might cook and they might clean, right? That's time savers. They'll take care of the house. That's a time saver. They might help them with their business. That's a time saver. So she's a resource. Like money. We know definitively that giving everybody money does not improve their life. We know that giving everybody a car does not improve their life. Giving somebody access to a resource does not improve their life. Somebody whose life has been improved will be further enhanced by having a resource. But some people are not qualified to handle a resource. They don't know how to maintain it. They didn't know how to obtain it. They don't know how to maintain it. And they're going to destroy it because they're going to abuse it. So that's the problem. Giving a man a woman from another country as a resource doesn't solve his problems. So if you don't fix the men and you're just giving them foreign women, you're just going to cause foreign problems. You're just going to import problems. And there's no need for that. There's plenty of problems right here. And you can solve them. Like the minutes we're spending together now could be our last minutes. Oh, that's sad. That's more valuable than the minutes leading up to it. These very well could be our last minutes. And I want to tell you all, and each and every one of you, that I do love you. Definitely in the agape way. I don't require anything of any of you for me to care about y'all, that y'all are here. So I do have that agape love for each and every one of you. So you get weird. No, I'm joking. These feminists messed up marriage. Rashawn, you 1,000% wrong on this one. I'm sure. But I don't know who Rasahun is. I'm sure he's 1,000% wrong. Whoever Rasahun is, he is 1,000% wrong. American women don't want a family, and they don't believe in gender roles. Other countries believe in gender roles. I'm so sure. I'm so sure. I would like to go and find. I will go and find the corpse of the woman who had the beheading, the honor killing. I'll go and find a few of those women and ask them how they feel about the gender roles that they play. How about that? I'll go find some of the young Indonesian women who are used to satisfy the whims of men from foreign that fly in to mess with underage women. I'll ask them how they feel about gender roles. Gender roles ain't gonna save you, bro. Gender roles ain't gonna save none of you. But you know what, mate? Man, learning something. Learning something. Shaming women and running away from American women, running away from your problems will not do it. Now, AR, you're married, and all of your brothers are married. So why you ride so hard for people that you're not, I can't say. You got to figure that problem out. You got to figure that one out. I'm not gonna say, yeah, it's not, having a passport and traveling is not bad. That's what's not bad. The people that want to do it to have an easier path, that's the problem. Because they think they can buy their way out of a problem. But let the woman become Americanized. What are they going to do? Let her get influenced by American culture. What are they going to do? And how are they going to keep her away from American culture if they're importing her back to the United States? If she's seeing TV, if she's working with other women, because a lot of these men cannot keep these women away from work. They don't make enough to have these women living at the house. And not very many women want to live at the house 24/7. They don't want to be, they can be in bondage where they're at. They don't need to come over here to be in bondage. Like a lot of this passport stuff, it sounds so much like white slavery to me. It sounds so much like human trafficking. I need somebody I'm gonna keep chained up in the house who doesn't ever get influenced by the culture that I'm trying to condemn and I live in. It's so silly. Learn a skill, better yourself, build something. There are plenty of women who respect men. We do have a lot of social problems in our country. I get that. Women are not perfect. Men are not perfect. And understanding that, man, you can move in grace and work with somebody with better language and articulation. But running from your problems, running to another country is not going to save you. What if the whole time she had an American dream and wanted to come up? What do you do then when you married that woman that just wanted to come up? When she wanted to get the bag, your bag? What do you do? What do you do then? What's the red pill solution for that? How do you shame her back into submission? Like, what are we talking about? Nothing in life is easy. All things are built on the hard road. Absolutely. If flying overseas to get a woman was the solution, they would all close their borders because they don't want y'all Negroes coming to take their women. The women y'all are getting aren't even the cream of the crop. Like, if they are such a, what do you call that? They're traditional culture. You know what happens in traditional cultures? The women get married young. So you're going over there and finding a woman that's never been married at 25 and 30. How's she still unmarried? How is she still unmarried for you to go over there and get her? Or are you going over there and getting an underage woman? Because again, if it's a traditional values country, she's going to be married. Let's be real, man. Y'all got to think this stuff through. I know y'all say a lot of stuff because it sounds good, it feels good, but it's dumb. Go over there. It's dumb. Passport ain't going to save you. You got to save yourself. Passport ain't going to save you because you got problems over there. They probably won't like you over there. They probably won't like you. Her parents probably won't like you. They just want it's just your money. Nobody wants you. Be wantable. Be desirable. The countryman of Atlanta's picking up on things they're not like, yeah. There's a reason she's still single at 25 and 30. If you're going over there and finding a single woman in a traditional place where they value men in marriage, something's wrong. Something's wrong. What was she assigned at birth? Something's wrong. I'm letting you know. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. But y'all keep going over there to get them. You ain't gonna keep telling me y'all going over there and finding 30-year-old women. You ain't gonna tell me that. Unmarried 30-year-old women, 25, 30, 35, you're not gonna tell me that. If you're getting a passport to go over there, you're going over there to look for underage women. Because they're so traditional, they're married. Or quit saying it. That was a rant. I'm not a big fan of passport bros. Okay, anyway. What do you mean by love? What do you mean by love, Mezzo? We've been talking about love all night. What do you mean by love? What's another thing that we mistake for love? Like passports? We mistake an accent for love. We mistake domesticity for love. We mistake mail order brides for love. We mistake Melania Trump for love. Y'all see Donald Trump with Melania? Y'all see how many times she was slapping his hand away? That's what y'all gonna have the rest of y'all's lives, man. That's what y'all trying to go marry. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. No, Donald. No, AR. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Oh, no. Your hand's greasy. No, don't touch me. That's what you gonna have, man. That's what you say. I mean, but let's look at the logic, Nova. Let's look at the logic. 18 to 25 is thinking, oh, I want cute Japanese girls that like anime like me. 18 to 25, but these dudes ain't 18 to 25. These dudes are 30, 40, and 50, talking about get a passport. These dudes are 30, 40, 50, trying to go overseas for a woman. Are they going to find a 30, 40, 50-year-old? Exactly. They're not going to find an unmarried, childless, virgin 30, 40, 50-year-old. No. They're creeping. They are creeping on the cradle. That's the only reason. That's the only thing that makes sense. Just numerically, if you're going to extol the traditional virtues of this foreign land, where all the women are traditional and raised to value men, either all of their men died in war, so they're all available, or you're going to get an underage woman, or she's no different than the women here, which is probably the most likely thing. She probably has a kid or two. She might not be as combative, but if you don't get yourself right, it really doesn't matter, man. Yeah, there is no monolith. There is no monolith. Like we've talked about with love, there is no one aspect. There is no one way. So the passport bros, there is no one way. But generally speaking, the idea for a man to flee his country of birth to find a bride. Now listen, hold on. Let's go into the power dynamic too. I'm going to flee a first world country. I'm going to leave a first world country. I'm not going to Australia. I'm not going to the UK. I'm not going to Spain, France, Italy. I'm going to an underdeveloped country, second or third world. Why is that? Why is that? Why do you need to fly to a place? Why do you need to fly to a place where everything you show them is new to them? You gotta show me something. You gotta show me something. Why would you want an imbalance of power? Somebody who's never seen your lifestyle, doesn't even understand it. Why would you want that? To me, you want somebody that's intimidated by your lifestyle, who's going to stay quiet because they got so much to learn. Somebody you can influence and mold and shape. If that's the road you want, man, okay, say that. But you want a young person. You want them young. That's going to always be weird to me. I'm never going to respect that. Man, a lot of young, like I said, Nova, the young folks, I ain't talking about them. I ain't talking about the young ones. Jay Takashi in the building. How you feeling, bro?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Jay Takashi.
Domo.
You put in this, then you get this. Bring quality. Yeah. I guarantee you, man, the average American woman of any race, if you show up a full person, will respond to you like you're a full person. It takes a... Now, of course, I'm not saying there are not women or men of low character. There's always low character. There are always people that'll take advantage, that'll exploit, that'll harm, that are abusive. You can't escape that. Now, if what you're saying is you want to look for more, you want to look for a higher population to pull from, okay. I just don't see that. What are you really getting if you're flying overseas? Then there's all the old dudes that go, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. But Jay is in the building. I want to hear what you got to say. We're talking about love. We slid into passport bros, but talking about love, man. What you got, man?
Okay. Well, so I want to say your topic, but let me say this, guys. I support one group of passport bros, not all of them. Just the ones who are just, who are like actually educated and things that they want to do. And also just want a peaceful life with a lady. Not going out there smashing whatever. Those are the guys I respect. And, those are the dudes. And also some of my other military brothers have already gotten married to the girls outside country. It's because they were from military. And the thing is, they don't rub it in people's faces. They got their family and their kids and they're happy. They don't complain. But down to my man Arshan's topic, you said the thing is learning your love. Now, is that learning your love of yourself, or you? Because, like I said, when you say it's your love, it's yours specifically. You didn't say the love of your partner. I'm guessing just you specifically. right?
Yes, we started and we went through all of the variations of Greek words for love and their definitions. So that's where we came from. So learning your love was just something I titled it. We were talking about the word love. So the word love has a pretty ambiguous meaning. So like you said, we always say this: if you ask 10 people what love is, you're gonna get 10 different responses because love is dynamic. So like, let me just show you a couple of the things. Love is to express care, affections, responsibility, respect, commitment, and trust. That's one person's definition. So we have all these different aspects that have to be present for love: for care, affection, responsibility, respect, commitment, and trust. Another author, Bell Hooks, said it's to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Like Bree says, taking an active role and investing in the outcomes and well-being of another person. And another thing I introduced was this one word called to cathect or cathexis, which is to invest a person with mental or emotional energy. And I say sometimes this is what happens when we say it's love. Somebody you're around a lot and you think about them a lot, that's cathexis, and we'll think that's love because you think about them a lot. Or you invest emotional energy, you start to care about them. So you'll think that's some form of love. You might even mistake it for romantic love because of its opposite gender or whatever your gender preference is. They're in that lane. So you start to, well, I feel something for them. It must be love. And then we went through like 8 different versions of Greek love. Some are family, some are like brotherly, some are practical, like duty, responsibility. So like that's the kind of lane we're in, talking about what does love mean, and is it multiple? Is love multiple? Because I think love is multiple. It's multiple things to multiple people. And if we had the language to express that, if we had better language instead of just saying I love you, maybe I love you in 3 dimensions. Maybe I love you erotically, I love you storgayly, like I want to take care of you, whatever one, pragmatic, eros, and a playful ludus. It was ludus love. So maybe if we had language that could better express the ways in which we love a person, we could get better relational outcomes. So that's where I've been here so far.
Okay. So I would say one of the things I would say to well said. He broke down everything, but for me, like I said, I think I learned to love of my heart and learn the love of the character of the person that I'm trying to build up, but also that love is inevitably going to be passed on to the energy of the person who's going to be next to me, and it's never going to be anything that's can be taken back. So I see it as you have to learn to. I heard this so much when I was younger because I never knew what it meant, but now I'm older and wiser. You know what the fuck it means. You should learn to love yourself, and I think when you learn to love yourself, you learn to take care of yourself better. Because I always thought, okay, I'll be real, guys. I'm gonna be very raw. I thought it was some bullshit my parents just came up with. What does that mean, love myself? I don't know. Like I say, boys and girls, like I say, yeah, you're young and dumb, you don't fucking listen, but you think your parents are trying to spring some Obi-Wan Kenobi Yoda shit on you. Learn to love yourself. And I didn't really know what that meant until I got older, and I got wiser, and I listened, did some research, and also started doing research. I said research on myself more often than not, and did the work within myself to see how much I do love myself. There's a lot of things that are there. There are a lot of things that can be improved on, but also I've got 2 halves of me, my light side and my dark side. And the thing is, there are certain times when, impatience is a key thing of that, to where you can just lose your cool, and you're not in a loving mind state or energy atmosphere. You're kind of basking in frustration and irksomeness at the time. You say anger too, but I think anger those are the fuels for anger, and then anger becomes rage. And the thing is, I always told myself that I don't rely on anger and hatred a lot, because those are strong factors to get you not to love yourself, but also not being in that lover atmosphere mode for your significant other and also yourself. To be honest. I said today, I was probably saying it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I think What's missing is a lack of compassion and empathy from all these people. But also, hold on. But also, in fairness, it's because they've been hurt too. But also because they take the experience of what that bad person had, and then they want to apply, and then they might apply it to their life when that happens. So therefore, they don't have the capacity to love themselves, but also love another person in that sense. But you said your love, so I guess their love energy is probably lower than the average, to where it's just morbid and bitter. But one thing Kevin Samuels did say did stick with me when he spoke to a particular lady that was military or whatever. She was military, but she's thinking of joining them. And she said, like, he said, I don't know what the hell is going on, but you should not be this sour at fucking 22. It makes no sense. Which, no, he was right. I'm like, I've never met anybody who's 22 that was that sour unless they were a victim of something. Like I said, not everything is just clear cut. You're a victim of something, okay. If you're not, and you got it semi-good, what's the problem? Why are you bitter, morbid? Why are you basking in those energies when they're progressively not good for you, and progressively? So, like I said, so it goes ahead to see how much you care. You can have how much love you can have for yourself as well for another person. If like I said, if you're willing to showcase it to them. But I know people say, like, if you're worthy, I mean, I heard what Wally said, I heard what you said. You're a good man. You do what you got to do. You stay to your character. You are all that. You'll get all of that. But you know what that sounds like? That sounds like Santa Claus to me when I hear that. And the thing is, well, I'm thinking, because you make it think that I deserve all these things because I was good. And to me, that's so weird to me because it comes off as like a Santa Claus type thing. And guys, I'm not shitting on your thoughts. I'm talking about what it sounds like to me and what I'm hearing from you. I hear what you're saying, but it comes off like if you be a good boy or a good girl, you'll get a good man, which is like Santa Claus. That's what that sounds like to me. And then that's why I said, no, I'm sorry. Like, God is not like Santa Claus, or Santa Claus is not like God for you. He doesn't, give out good men or good girls and good women. Like, that's not how it works. And that's why, like I said, I'm sorry. I don't believe that. And I've always said, can you see how that sounds like something that somebody just made up? And I'm saying, like, no. From my perspective, how I can see it as anything as a unicorn or an ogre or like the tooth fairy to me in my mind. That's what it comes to mind when I hear that sometimes. And it's like, guys, we gotta, whether you're a believer or God or not, I don't doubt that. That's fine. It's a whole different matter. But don't give me some ancient alien bullshit, please. I'm here. Like I said, I'm in the here and now. This is what's around me. This is what the world is like out here. And whether you want to be a compassionate, loving person, that is your choice. If you want to be an angry, morbid person, just use people, well, I'll tell you what, karma's coming for your ass. I have nothing to do with your downfall. You're going to top yourself. But that's because more often than not, like I said, you're basking in anger and hatred, then I would say your own confidence and good self-esteem. And guys, when I say self-esteem, it is not necessarily negative. Low self-esteem, of course, that comes up that's negative. But good self-esteem can, fuel for your good confidence. It can fuel the love you have for yourself. It can fuel you to do a lot of different things that you probably didn't like, that you like now. And you probably just never knew because you never gave it a shot until you finally did. But I always say this: love is needed in relationships more often than not. That's simply, like I said, if you love the man for his money, then you shouldn't be with him. Dead ass.
That's what's
And
up.
also, before I let my man Arsha go, I'm gonna say this because I want to give it to the ride. Guys, if you like her only because of her looks and not her individuality and personality, get the fuck away from her. Dead ass. And I'm not saying because she's toxic or whatever. She's not. More often than not, you're not there for the benefit, for her betterment or yours. So move the F on, the both of you. Simple enough.
All right, appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate your thoughts. Give me a quick second. We're gonna transition for in a minute. I want to shout out Yaretas24. I haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're still here. Definitely appreciate you. Hopefully I know you said you were busy. you were doing some career stuff. So hope to see you soon, even if it's like once in a month, a cozy stream. Hopefully you come back to the streets. Hey, yaretas. Man, I'm sorry. I'm a fan first. Before I'm a streamer, I'm a fan. My bad. I was about to nerd out. I was about to geek out. Let me calm myself down.
You okay, Arshad, man?
Yeah.
See, I think you vibing right now. That's what I'm seeing from you. You vibing.
Yeah, I love the
Good
music.
man.
I love the music and
he loves himself right now.
Ray B Chicago. That girl Mezzo subscribed. Oh man, they subscribed for 3 months. It's the third month. Mezzo, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you for the sub, love. Appreciate you. But yes, I'm a big fan of the people I'm around. Cause I started watching these people first. So before I started streaming, I was watching. So I'm a fan. Yareitas, I love watching Yareitas. Her side duck emotes and all that good stuff in the cozy streaming. So yeah, I'm a big fan of everybody. Y'all know, everybody know Kawaii Bree. We not that girl Mezzo. We trying to get her back in the streaming game. She's supposed to be coming back. I'm gonna keep saying it until she does it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the folks that I follow. But I want to talk about some of the words. We started talking about some of the words right before we went into the passport. Some of the words like attention, obsession, time, money, that people confuse for love. And I wanted to throw some more at you. So Jay, let me ask you, do people confuse lust for love?
Yes.
What's an example of that? Give us an example of somebody that confused like lust. Not it don't have to be real life. I'm just saying, like, what does it look like when somebody confuses lust for love?
Sex. It's simple, bro. I'm gonna be very different variations, but sex. I can love be there when she says, "Love for me, love me for me," but don't sell that same message. An issue I still look at and shake my head on. Marshawn, before I get to answer your question, you want to answer that real quick?
Yeah, like I don't know what your particular situation is. That sounds very like personal. Like that's really something from your life. How can love be there when she says love me for me? Now that
I think you mean like, except I don't know. Yo, Wally, you're always an interesting case, man. Because I think you mean the negative ones when you bring that up. Because I've seen girls that are like, you should love me for the person that I am, the individual,
absolutely,
the individualistic uniqueness that I am, that I have, right. that I carry with me.
Nothing wrong with that.
And my lady has that, but the difference is she's not like negative, she's positive. She's more, like I said, she's a flower. I'm lucky to even have what I have.
You done triggered him.
I triggered Wally.
Yeah, he's like, I'm coming up explaining.
Man, me and Wally always.
Of course, because y'all always gotta look at something and y'all just read it so off, especially Jay. Because he always gotta believe why was so jaded?
Wally, ain't we friends? Ain't we friends, man? Ain't we supposed to do that?
So Wally, explain that message real quick. Hit me with that explanation real quick.
Look, okay, so when I sit here and say, okay, how can love be there when she says, love me for me, but don't sell the same message? What I'm basically saying is, okay, you know how it is, right? They'll say, love me for me, right? But my thing is this. Why are you not doing the same thing when it comes to that same person, right? That person can.
Are you talking about reciprocity? Like they're not returning it?
Yeah, in the same fashion. You want me to accept you as what you is and how you for whatever stages of your life you are. My thing is, but you ain't doing the same thing. So when you sell that, my thing is like, okay, great. But then you're not accepting the person as they is. There's like, okay, well, wait a minute. You just cut off. You just made an ultimate deal breaker. Like, oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not going to accept you. Then I have to be up here in this high stance that you want to put me in. No. Because if you want me to accept you as is, then then you have to work the same way. Because then that's a building process.
Well, you have to accept each other in a sense. Like, yeah.
But I got a question.
Their faults, or I said faults. She has to accept like some things you're not good at, but also you have to accept some things she's not good at. I'm not, and the thing is, it's just like I said, that's how you build and you improve on each other. Like I said, not all. Like, first of all, I want to say this, and I think Arshad, you're gonna be able to agree with this easily. None of y'all motherfuckers is gonna be perfect when y'all first see each other or think. Think like you gotta stop thinking you're both gonna be perfect. Like, no, he has this phone like you. I have one thing I like that even though my lady knows, she still loves me for it, but at the same time she knows I can improve on it. But it's not something that she's barking at. She knows that I have that, and also she's glad I'm not. Well, first of all, she's glad I'm not so cynical. That's number one.
Hey Jay, real quick, man. Hey Jay, hold up, Jay. Let me jump in real quick because I gotta ask Wally some clarifying questions. Now, based on everything that I said tonight, where we talked about the different types of love, I don't know how much of it you heard, but don't you think it's possible for two people to be existing in two different states of love, two different kinds of love?
No, yeah, that's ultimately true. Yeah, no problem with that.
All right, so couldn't it be that she's asking you for couldn't it be possible for her to be asking you for a specific style of love, and then you just not need that same style? Or are you saying you then want a tit for tat and say, well, I want the exact same type of love back from you? Have you asked her, is she capable of that?
Well, it's not really a me thing. It's really just an overall.
The way it was worded.
Overall thought.
Gotcha.
But my thing is that happens all the time. No, yeah. My overall thing is just okay. So here's my thing: if I'm literally in a mind frame sitting here saying I'm dealing with someone, and they said, oh, you know what, love me for me, right? Because in that whole standpoint, it's basically saying I am what I is, right? Mm-hmm. But my thing is okay, cool, but I am who I is too. Right? So my thing is, well, then wouldn't that same philosophy then bounce on me if that's what you're living by? Because if that's what you're living by, that's all great. But my thing is then if that's the case, you're going to stay in a presence that you always stay in. So my thing is, okay, fine. But my thing is then if I follow that same mind frame and then you then you questioning how I'm working, how I process things. Because I'm a literally living that same mindset as you are. You're going to sit here and say, love me for where I am right now. Okay, great. I'm gonna say the same thing. Love me for where I am right now. But yet, when it comes down to it, you're not gonna enjoy where I stand at. So you might want to change it. But then my thing is this: what if I think the same way, but I never freaking bothered to even question it? My thing is you're not really standing on what you really want to. You're not standing on the premise that you're selling. So don't sell me. So don't sell me that.
All right, now I hear what you're saying. But I think this is also a problem that people come into with relationships. They assume that because somebody wants something for them, that they then also have to give it. I think that's a faulty logic. I think that's a faulty premise. I think it's fair. Hold up. I think it's fair to want to ask for it, but let's think about it a different way. Let's take it out of love, because people always do this. We think about our experience of it. So let's say your partner wants a lemon icy, right? You don't like lemon ices, so they got you a strawberry cone. Why didn't they get you a lemon icy? They got a lemon icy. Why wouldn't they get you the exact same thing? Because you're a whole different person, and your needs and your wants are different. Why isn't it fair are you talking to someone else? Got you. Why isn't it fair for a person to not expect you to be them? They don't think you have the same needs. They don't think you have the same wants. To me, that's fair. And I think it would be more mature. And I'm not saying you, as adults trying to relate to each other, if you said, okay, these are my wants and needs. These are my terms and conditions. Can you accept? And they lay out their own separate, completely independent terms of conditions, expectations and standards, and you say if you can meet those. But if every time somebody says I want A, well then you have to tit for tat them and say, well, I want it too. That sounds like a child. That sounds like an immature, because you may not want what they want. That's not default. That's not automatic. That sounds like an emotional response to somebody asking or making a demand of it. So I'm saying, just because she wants it doesn't mean you want it. And I think we need to evaluate that before we throw that back at you. Well, if you want that, I want that too. I think we need to pause, breathe for a minute, and then say, well, maybe I want that, or maybe I want something different.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. My thing is just, I want to say this. It's not the ultimate thing of saying, since you don't want that, okay, I'm gonna want that as well. It's just more so. I want to say this. I think it's just the exchange of it all. I guess that's just what it is for me. But yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm alluding to with these different love styles. the exchange doesn't have to be exact. You don't exchange an apple for an apple or an orange for an orange. If she's offering you an apple, then you can bring back something different to the relationship. You can bring an entirely different demand. Well, if you want me to accept you, flaws and all, like hopes, lock, stock, and barrel, everything that you are, I might be able to do that, but it will require this in return. Like, that's a negotiation. To me, that's more fair or more mature than saying, well, if you want that, you better give it to me too. Like that you feel the difference. I know I'm saying it with a different energy, but even the words like, let me take the, well, if you want that, then I'd better get it too. Yeah. Because you may not need it. You may not want it. It may not benefit you to be accepted in that way. You actually might just want to be respected. You might not want to be accepted fully. You might be okay with her criticizing you because you're like, dang it, I need somebody to stay on me like my coach did in football. I need somebody to tell me I keep waking up late. You might not want to be accepted for all your flaws because it feels too much like she doesn't care. What you might prefer in exchange for accepting her fully is respect. Like, okay, I'm going to accept you how you are, but you got to make sure you keep that tone and them sharp words in check. But I'm going to make sure I accept how you are. I may say some stuff, but I'm going to accept you. I'm going to love you for it regardless. But you can't be doing no clapbacks. We ain't doing none of that. That's the exchange. And if she can agree to that, let that ride. If your girl cheats on you and you decide to forgive her because you love her, then you turn around to cheat. She is not obligated to give you the same grace. Although it's fucked up, she doesn't have to accept it because you did. Absolutely. I think we need to start understanding that people don't have to accept something just because they ask you to accept it.
I went into that.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Let's talk on it.
I want to no continue, Arshawn, man. Give me your soliloquy, bro.
Nah, because I was wrapping up on that one anyway. So go ahead and tap in on that.
Oh, okay. It's funny what she wrote down, but I get what she's saying, and it's like, well, this is me. You cheat? No. The boundaries in this, like I said, any of y'all, let's go for any of y'all lady. That cheat, we done. You betray my trust when you do that, and you don't. And you trust me. If you love me, you would not have done that. And also, no, I mean it. If you love me, you wouldn't have done that shit. Because, like I said, I'm ignoring all these other annoyances because I'm trying to get home to you and be with you, pleasure you, make you feel good, and also you try to do the same for me, vice versa. But if you do that shit, then it's like pretty much over. And right, like I said, if you don't respect it, and I'm gonna say, if you don't respect it, then get the hell out. Because I'm gonna tell you, like I said, sex is some serious shit, and I need to. Then I'm sure we can talk about this portion. When someone asks me, "Oh, Jay, you wouldn't have a threesome? You want somebody else?" I'm like, no, because you're mine, and nobody else can have what's mine. And that's not a childish, jealous boy mentality. That is territorial. A man being territorial about what is his. Like I said, sweetheart, if I'm yours, then you're mine. Hear me? There ain't no in between or one-sidedness. You get that? When you bind yourself to me, that's what you're getting. I'm all yours and you're all mine. Now, granted, I'm not saying I own you. I did not say that. Don't get that shit twisted. But like I said, if you're mine, you're mine. If I'm yours, I'm yours. Simple enough. And also, we don't share each other with nobody at all. So that's so things when we bind each other to each other, that's some deep shit. So, and that's why I said I'm not appreciative of what sex is turning today. Well, see, there's a beautiful thing. It's like a fucking hobby and a competition, and it's trash. It is trash. I don't give a fuck what anyone you say. It is trash. It's not the same beautiful thing it was once before. And man, and I'll be honest. Yeah, Arshawn, I was one of those romantic boys that thought that it was a beautiful thing between a man and woman, how you show that you love your woman. But one of the ways, not mainly, one of the ways you show her. And we've already, it's been said 1,000 times. You having your character, you taking care of her, you being a man of action, you willing to do the heavy lifting for her, things like that. But also she does the things that she loves to her love to do, things she has to do in order to contribute to the unit that you both are forming. So you don't let the kids turn on each other, that shit like that. And the thing is, like I said, both these things go hand in hand with each other, and you can't separate them. So once I've binded it to you, myself to you, I take that vow very seriously. There's a connection between us. It's not just something, oh, I did it, I forget you. I'm like, no, I'm not the type of person. That's not how I work. And that's why I don't go out just smashing whatever. I just don't. That's not good for me, my mindset, and that's not how the fuck I was raised. And I'll never be a believer and fall into the narrative like, y'all motherfuckers do just flavor the girl of the week and just do this shit. I don't do that shit. But the thing is for me, because like I said, because I would genuinely love and care for that girl. That's what I'm saying. And if I give you that love, I expect that love back in return. Now, I do expect it. Now,
Land it.
Yeah, I'll end it. But the thing is, like she said, to answer her question, she doesn't have to set the back in return. Okay, if you don't respect it, you don't respect it. Just go into I would say don't go into the next man. Just don't be in a relationship. You're better off being a flavor of the week at that point. Hold on. Can you go back to that one that was just said, bro?
Yeah, hold up. Don't respond to it, man. You was rapping for a quick minute, so let me get Wally in.
All right, Wally West Jr.
Oh, he must have tapped out. Oh, there you go.
No, he ain't tapped out. It take him a minute, man. 5 years.
Like I want to reiterate something real quick before y'all keep going. Like I know y'all probably didn't catch the entire stream. I know Wally was here before Jay, but the premise of the show was that we have more dynamics and understandings of love than we explore. Like we say, like you said, if you love me, you will love me. If you wouldn't do this if you love me, well, what kind of love is it? Like, because if somebody had a pragmatic love where they feel like they're duty bound and they take care of you, they provide for you, they do anything you need, but they don't have any eros love, they don't have any romantic or sexual interest in you love. I don't think they didn't love you because they cheated. They just had a different love for you than what they wanted to explore with somebody else. I think that's possible. That's what I'm saying. I think we need to develop a deeper understanding of what love is, because me loving you in one way doesn't keep me from doing something else that feeds a different love altogether. So I think that's what I'm saying. Even in this conversation, I'm saying that having a broader understanding of love would allow us to understand that different things can exist at the same time.
Right.
Well, I see this giving it your all. Go ahead, Wally.
Yeah, no, because the one thing, especially when we was on Yellow's the other day ago, or neither yesterday, I believe, right? Just the overall concept of love is never, you can't look at the quote unquote definition and be like, oh, that's what it is, because that's just a simple-minded version of it. Because love is a journey, and because it's a journey, that definition is always going to keep advancing, it's always going to keep evolving, it's always going to keep developing. And because it's always going to keep developing, that definition will never really be a flatline answer.
So you're saying love is a journey. So now you're introducing language I haven't said all show. So love is a journey. Articulate that differently so that we might understand what you mean by love.
So basically what I'm saying is love is an experience. And once we experience it, there's always going to be an experience amongst different levels, right? So that, as far as what, like you said before yesterday, right? Yesterday's price is not today's price, right? So for instance, the love that we had in 20s will not be the same love that we have in our 30s. And then, so forth and so on. So every single time we keep on leveling up together, years in and years out, that love becomes more defined every single time. And I think this is just one of the main hard parts about, especially for young people going into this and talking about love, because the reality is most of y'all never really even had it. And that's just the sad truth. Most people in their childhood never really had love, so they can never really express it. So when they hear that word, they push back at that ish, because what did they really have in their life that they can consider as love?
That sounds like Wally wrapped that up. Jay, I saw you had your hand up. You want to jump in on that?
Oh no, man. You answered it beautifully. Plus I answered that whole paragraph of a question for that girl Mezzo. I get what she's saying.
Nah, definitely, I agree with a point of that, and I think that's why we also need to probably even change the language around failed relationships. We say because something ended, we say it failed. Like if a marriage ended, a relationship ended, we're like, oh, it did fail. It's a failed marriage because it ended. Like if we look at love as a journey, well, then that journey part of that journey just completed. You know what I'm saying? Like when everybody kept saying like, God, Kevin Samuels, he had 2 failed marriages. But I'm like, well, some relationships just run their course. Right. I think like it's the end of that experience. I think even talking about it like a failure.
Yeah, end of that
learn
process.
from it and grow from it. That's part of the journey, and part of a journey is to end it. You reach a destination, and whether that's death or whether that's divorce, I don't necessarily consider that a failure unless you did it the wrong way. Like if you went in with wrong intentions and you came out with wrong intentions. Like if you did, like for me, that's failure. Like not living up to your own wants and needs, setting your own standards and expectations. Doing something because somebody else told you to or that told you that you should, to me, that's failure. Not honoring yourself as a human, that's failure. Not starting something and completing something and maybe like because if a business, as they say, a business fails, a lot of times people that fail at business succeed if they continue to try. So I really think we even need to change the language around failed relationships as ended relationships or completed relationships.
I mean, for me, I would look at it as more of as more of an ending process, and then that's how I look at it.
I'm with you. Now, Jay, man, before we transition, man, do y'all want to get any like 2 minute thoughts in on that portion before we move on?
No.
All right, well, I got y'all.
I'm recharging.
Well, I got y'all, man. I'm gonna use y'all like Jay did talk about. People do. I want to get some examples from y'all. I'm gonna throw out a word that people often confuse for love. I'm gonna throw out a word and y'all give me some examples, right? So I did lust, and Jay said like sex. I say like we use terms like somebody's nose is open, they were digmatized or whipped. They were whipped. The guy might get whipped. You know what I'm saying? He got pee whipped. So those are some of the things that somebody gets opened up by sex, and it gets confused for love. Those are some of the terms we use. But
and money too. I was gonna throw money in there too.
Yeah, Bree said money because people throwing money at you. It can feel overwhelming. It can feel like what's that word? Like the sugar mom is a sugar daddy. Somebody taking that. Yeah. It can easily be seen as somebody loving you because maybe you've never seen that kind of substance in life. Like especially for poorer people, when somebody throw money at you, it can start to feel away. It'll get your emotions going.
Yeah, you better pick you start to buy them all these nice lavishing gifts. The next thing you know, woo! But then that all goes into that love language, right? So
yeah. So what happens when the novelty of newness, when all the new things, when it doesn't feel so new, when you start taking that stuff for granted? So then what happens to that kind of a love? What about
go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead. No. What I was
gonna go to the next word, so go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, because what I was saying was this is why I somewhat look at love like a maze. There's never like one freaking answer or one pathway. Like you just like, even though there's one pathway you entering, one pathway you getting out. Yeah. But my thing is in this case, just because there's so, but my thing is in this case, love, that labyrinth has multiple exits. That's 3 different, like you have to start doing it. You may find one exit on the left, you may find one exit on the right, you may find one exit, going north. But my thing is, whatever exit you get, that's just the freedom.
Hey, real quick, hey Jay, can you quit making love to the mic real quick, or mute?
I'm making love to the mic. Maybe I am. I don't know. I'm being funny. I'm taking.
Go ahead, Wally. Go ahead, man.
I'm done. No, I'm done. That was it.
Jay, they're like,
love to the mic. That's funny, bro. Dude, I got a lady, man. This
hey, man. Hey, man. It sound like a three. It sound like a threesome now, man. Even that mic was getting real cozy. Hey, but is infatuation something that people confuse for love? What about infatuation?
You said infatuation. What?
Infatuation, like a deep crush. Do people confuse that for love sometimes?
That's actually no. Because to me, it's like yes and no for that one. It's like it might just be a spark or a feeling. I don't know if it's necessarily love right there. And I hate that you use infatuation because that's a big one. I know what you mean because that could be associated with love, but it's the feeling and spark. I would say doesn't mean necessarily love, but you feel something. It could be something, like I said, it could be something for that person, or it could be like maybe in a different manner. It doesn't necessarily have to be love. Like for example, I'm not saying I'm infatuated. Let's use an example. Ladies are infatuated with freaking Leo DiCaprio. I think that's fair to say that. You think that's just love or admiration for the character? I think it's a mixture of both, admiration and love. They admire Caprio, and also they love Caprio. Maybe like in love with him. Some probably are in love with his work. That's different. Still love, but different kind of.
So then, since you said that, what about the people that like faint at the sight of their favorite superstar? Because there's a lot of, young women, even into their 20s and 30s, that get a high degree of emotional response when they see their favorite superstar.
They crave them.
Like you remember Michael Jackson? Like Michael Jackson come out and everybody, and they falling over the fence. You know what I'm saying? So what?
Michael Jackson. That's why.
Do you think that level of emotion could be confused for love in somebody? I mean, when we talked about the Greek words, one of them was mania, like an obsessive love.
Yeah.
Like stalkers might do. You know what I'm saying? So like the number one fans that follow a tour from stop to stop across Europe, that might be even considered mania. So do you think that people could confuse like that level of infatuation for love?
Yes, they can. Definitely. I mean, I'm about to say it. I hate to say it, it's the truth. Y'all know it's real. Comments and in here. Anybody who takes it to that extreme, you already know there's always people in that group that have that type of obsessivity with people like that. And it's unhealthy. So it's like I said, it's more of like stalkerish, more creepy. Even if it was a woman, again, a dude, like over a guy, it's still creepy. Because like I said, he can still find that creepy. It's just not really cool. So I definitely agree with you, Arshawn. It exists. Every group, I think every group has it.
All right. Now, Wally, what about somebody that starts to like fantasize about a person? Do you think that having that level of interest where they start to have a fantasy around the person, they're starting to make up a life together? Do you think sometimes we'll do that and start to think it's love?
I'm going to say yes in most cases.
Yes.
And here's to that point, because here's my thing, right? Because when people start fantasizing about this whole thing, like, right, the dude's fantasizing about a girl, right? He's always thinking about, how their life would look like and everything like that. Another thing that somewhat helps with that fantasy is how they engage with each other, right? How they naturally engage with each other, from time to time. And because of that engagement, it sort of helps out their visuals of this whole sense in their heads, and verse by verse.
All right, well, what about you, Jay? Now, this next one. Somebody that finds comfort and security in their partner. Do you think finding comfort and security is something that a person might start to feel is love? If they make you feel comfortable, if they make you feel safe and secure?
Yes. Because for me, a woman normally feels safe and she loves that her man can mostly look after her, protect her, and that she has that leaf of worry. So it is love. It won't just be like, I'm sorry, look over my shoulder like that. This big ass here, but you love that he's there. Like I don't think that would be like I like. I think that you'd be love because for it to be like it would just be like if a friend was there. Maybe if you want to curl like that, but I think you can say they go hand in hand. If someone thinks that way. But I think of the tier of like coveting and covering someone is love. Yeah, like you can love them for that. Yeah. First of all, if my woman ever covered me, that'd be like, oh, I'd be in love with her off rip for that. I'm like, okay, it never happened. Okay. No, bro, that would really shock me if that ever happened. I'd be like, I might have hit jackpot right there.
There you go.
And
it
now
might
you
happen.
got mine.
There you go. Now, Wally, what about this one? Do you think somebody could be so bored with their life that they make up a love interest? Like they say, well, they're so bored They need that energy. They manufacture some drama by saying, I think I love this person. You think that's possible?
Okay, repeat that again.
Do you think a person could be so bored within their life that because we know people manufacture drama. Do you think people can manufacture a love interest to spark something in their life?
To manufacture a love interest. Give me an example.
Well, if I give you an example, you wouldn't be answering the question. I would. So let me think. So
All
we
right,
have.
All right, I'm gonna let this fly. I'm gonna let it ride. So, all right, based upon
I'll come back to answer that one. Let me give you a different one. Hold up. What about somebody that has a very passionate energy with somebody? Like I love how I feel when I'm with, or I love how they make me feel. Does that ever get mistaken for love?
Yes, true. Yeah, that does. Because when you are literally livid and oozing that aura of energy, you don't want to walk away from it. You feel so keen to it. So because you're so attracted to it and you're so locked in with it, you would be so engaged and inclined to be in love with it. Makes sense.
Nah, that makes sense. And like an example, I haven't seen this in modern day. There's enough distraction where people don't get as bored to make up love interests. But if you ever watch the Victorian era shows, Bridgerton type stuff, like if they ever watch Victorian era shows, they show people that were like a little bored with their life. They didn't have a lot going on. So sometimes they might make some stuff up, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep some juices going, make up some gossip, make up, like right now, the closest thing we probably have is, probably like the Real Housewife type stuff. So like, I don't have anything going. I got a lot of free time. I'm gonna get on a show, and they manufacture drama. And some of those manufactured dramas are manufactured love interests. You know what I'm saying? So right now we're making it happen scripted, but that's something that happens in real life. People will be around some people and they'll just like, you know what? I mean, it's not even always a decision. They'll be devoid of, you ever seen the movie Crash? Anybody with Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard? You ever seen that movie Crash?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, there was a quote in there that people will be so going through life, kind of like so dry, so emotionless, that they'll just crash into each other just so that they feel something. Like that's kind of the premise here. Like you'll just throw yourself into somebody's life just so you can have some feeling in your life, because everything else is just dry and like empty. So like that's the premise with the boredom. But let's go on to Jay. Do you think acceptance, somebody that just accepts you for who you are, do you think that could be mistaken for love?
Mistakes me?
Accepts you, like they say, you know what, Jay? Like while he was asking that question, somebody that loves me for me. If somebody accepts you for who you are, can that be mistaken for love? Like somebody that accepted all your flaws, you're around them, they like all your flaws, they like the way you speak, they like the way you act, everything about you, even the stuff you do that's wrong. Like, man, he's always cussing, but it's cool with me. I don't have no problem with Jay being a fighter. He's violent. I don't have any problem with anything.
God, that made me sound terrible.
I'm just saying. I mean, but I'm just trying to make up some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really know. Okay. I don't know what your bad traits are. But if somebody comes around and they accept all, no matter how bad it is, do you think somebody could mistake that for love?
Sure. It's still like maybe. Like I said, both sides, one is good, the other one is bad, depending on the observation of the person that you're paying attention to. Like I said, observation is key. Urshan, I was wild. Like he's violent because, y'all make it seem like I'm just. I know I need to use an example, but don't make it seem like I'm right here just punching everybody, bro. I would have been shot by now, more often than not, by somebody. Well, I'm gonna tell you this: if they do that, I'm ripping their ear off. I will turn into a savage to protect the person I care about because I have to. That's the only time that ever version of me will ever come out. My family's in danger, and I need to be the protector, and I need to do that. I'm that every day, but I'm not gonna go to. So let me say this: I'm not gonna turn into Rambo unless that situation arises, like I need to. Things like that. That's not an on and off switch. That's there. It's just that it's not needed at this point in time. Hopefully, it's never needed. That's the one thing I hope. I don't want my wife to look at me like, "Oh, you were never like this." No, sweetheart, it was always here. I just kept it on wraps. And plus, that's in terms of emergency that I have to do the things that I have to do to get things done and protect John and his family. But you could be seeing that as like, see, that's an example. I'm giving what you just said, like two different sides. But I'm not pretending. It's there. It's just not at the forefront. If I gave you hints of like, you know, if somebody were to do such and such, this is how I would act. So I don't want you to be surprised when it comes out at the right time, you know, at the benefit of your protection. That's all. But yeah, that's the best way I can answer your question.
Got you. Let me check this comment. When I was a teenager, I fantasized about marrying Kevin Burgess, aka KB from Reach Records. He was my friend, and I never told him how I felt, but I just imagined we get married when we got older. I made a whole storyline up. That's what I mean. People be making stuff up. They be having a fantasy in their head. That does happen.
Fantasy, baby.
But Wally, now I know, Wally, I know you got an opinion about this one. I know I'm not gonna have to explain this one, and I'm going to use women specifically. It happens with men, but I'm gonna use women because it'll trigger Wally. Do you think women mistake love when they find a man that hits all the check marks on their list?
Honestly, I could say yes, just for the flat answer. In most cases, they're not. Yeah, I think it would, because you would think everything seems right with that person because they check off. But my thing is, that's because that's all you. I'll say for what the checklist that you have, that's what the checklist you have been, right? But it's not gonna. But my thing is that all depends on the experience you had, you know, prolonging within your relationships, right? Because I always say this, you know, when you deal with a relationship and it doesn't work out and you move on, you always learn something to the point that you may add on another, you know, something to that checklist. So there's always neither a development of the checklist or neither a development based upon, you know, timing of your age or, you know, as you progress in life. So my thing is, if someone checks off that checklist today, that may be, it may seem great, but reality, you're going to find out something about that person that you may not like or agree with, that you would not, you know, deal with ultimately.
I like that explanation. What you check off today yesterday's price is not today's price. What you check off today may not be what you want tomorrow. What you want tomorrow may be totally different. And we got a summer mince pies redeemed. Water is life on the Twitch side. Everybody grab your water, grab your cup, hydrate, because water is life. Thank you, summer mince pies. Thank you so much. And now, what about friendship, Jay? Do you think somebody could be such close friends that they can mistake that for a romantic type of love?
That'd be weird to me. Maybe if they okay. I've been watching a lot of cinema therapy for a while, and you know, that's an actual therapist and a filmmaker. Most often people confuse connection with love, or love that connection with other. Like, for example, so I'll throw myself on chopping block. The 2 to 3 female friends that I have, they're like my actual sisters to me. I don't see them in a romantic way. I see them as sisters to protect. Enough said. It will never. And the thing is, technically, I guess by y'all saying I put them in a friend zone, no, the fuck I didn't. I just don't see them romantically, and I don't think I ever will. I see them as my sisters that I grew up with. And I look at it, and like I said, you're under my protection and covenant in terms of that. And I'm the brother. Like I need to be. I don't confuse that with love at all. Like I love y'all. That I love that nothing happens, nothing doesn't happen to you. And you know, you're like I said, the same qualification you would have if you were my real sister. But I consider you my real sister, more than on that, even though we're not related. So that's why I threw myself on chopping block just now, guys, to give you that example. And it's just like, oh, this is my sister. Like, no, it is. She is. So I think if someone were to confuse the friendship with love, that would have to do to somebody who's never been loved their entire life, and that's done in movies. So when you say that, I'm thinking movie stuff. That's only ever done in movies. And maybe there might be a rare case in the real world that may have happened, but nobody that I know or have talked to have ever thought that way. Like, nah, I was in love with my friend like that. Like, no. Maybe you may have had a crush on your friend, but not like I confused the friendship for love. But I'm like, that's some fictional writing shit when you say that. But that's my thought.
Got you. Now, Wally, I'm gonna ask you about this one. What about forbidden love? What'd you say, Jay?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off, bro. But I was like, was that too long, Garchon? You get the answer?
No, that was cool. That was cool. You got to it. Now, she said she was in love with her friend KB, so she experienced that. Now, what about you, Wally? What about forbidden love? Do you think people sometimes find somebody that's like taboo or mysterious or unavailable? Do they mistake that for love? Like that attraction that they have to that forbidden?
I think it's. I look at that more of as that being somewhat of a challenge, and two, as that being something that's untainable, right? It's like it's hidden treasure, and you're willing to take that adventure for that hidden treasure because no one else has it. So I think that's what it is more than anything else for my video.
Nah, definitely. I do think that people sometimes that are unobtainable, we definitely cling on to him sometimes. We'll get stuck on that. I respected him and spent time with him as a friend, but he older and only saw me as, oh, that's cute. This was a great conversation. I learned a lot, and I will be thinking about all of this. Gotta go to sleep, place. Good night. Crispy Jerky Panelists in chat. Good night, Enya. I will see you in the Discord. In them Discords. Good night. Now listen. I'm getting ready to wrap this up because I went through my Greek stuff. I went through some of the words that we mistake for love. I'm going to just run through some of these other ones. Emotional starvation. That's like when somebody's just looking for a sliver of hope to hang on to feel something. We went through friendship, forbidden love. Somebody that's too good. Somebody that's like they have a pedalized interest in a person. Sometimes they'll pedalize somebody and mistake that for love. That type of attraction. Attachment, somebody you're just around, like maybe like a work wife, work husband, somebody you've just grown accustomed to for so long. Sometimes we mistake that for love. And again, we have multiple dimensions of love, but I'm talking about us mistaking for romantic love. Need fulfillment. If somebody meets your needs, if they're feeding you, clothing you, housing you, financing you, sometimes I know we talked about money, so that's one we talked about already. Trauma bonds. People mistake that shared trauma sometimes as love. Commonality, things like soulmate, kismet, fate. We have so much in common. It just is scary. Sometimes people take that and mistake that for love. The opposites attract. Contrast. They're everything you're not. It's all new to you. Sometimes they take that and think it's attraction or romantic interest. Now we all know toxic traits, boy. The childhood drama patterns and this family dysfunction that breeds dysfunctional adult relationships. Sometimes we'll mistake that for love. Those familiar patterns of neglect or abandonment or unavailability or abuse, we'll mistake that for love. Recycling. I call it recycling. Returning to an ex, that reconciliation, second chances or need for closure. Sometimes we'll mistake that for an authentic love. Approval. Like your friends and family approve of the person. So somebody like they might think it's love because everybody likes them. You know what I'm saying? Or you might think it's love because everybody likes them. Well, maybe that's who I'm meant to be with. Let me see. A role player, somebody that seems to fit perfectly into your life. Like everything just seems to fit. I gotta learn. Not all recycling is good. Now this is going to be a weird one. This is going to be a weird one because me and the women be fighting about this one. The mother or the father. They remind us of a beloved family member, a friend or an ex, possibly even as deceased, that we have fond memories of. But they remind us of them, so we have that transference of that love or emotion that we feel about that person they remind us of. We got the pot committed or sunk cost fallacy. The people that we stayed too long with or invested too much in, and we think we have a genuine relationship because we just put so much into them, we refuse to let it go. And then there's the last train. You don't see any other options. So this got to work. This got to be. Then we got the temporary seat fillers, the girls trip or summer camp people, the person you are attracted to that you meet off somewhere else abroad and you instantly hit it off with them. There's been a lot of summer loves and people that you meet abroad. And then the alter ego, someone that treats everyone else like trash, but they treat you special. And sometimes people mistake that for love. That old, what's that, 50 Shades of Grey type joint. You know, they crazy, they're neurotic, but they picked you and they love you. So that kind of thing.
Hey, man, listen, man, that was the book.
There you go.
Hey, bro, listen, I didn't read that book until I was in college, man. That was like when I was like, what age was that? Damn, I forgot what I was, like 22. I read that shit. And I can see why everybody, like college student, would like that. I can see why. What do you want or do?
That's how the movie. That's what that fantasy is all what it took.
And no. And it really, I really got into the mind of what makes us tick. Let's just say that. You too, Wally. Take it down. But no. See, she said, I guess caustic covers it, but deliberate and manipulation can be mistaken for love. That's true. Also, Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, it is. Yeah, all those are. I know about Stockholm syndrome. It's crazy. But my thing is, wanting to love somebody, at least for me, from when it comes to people that I care about, because like I said, because this feeling, this emotion just can't go to anybody. Like I said, it comes from fear, from feeling something for someone. And that's why I said, if I don't have that, then I don't know how I could care about you. I'm gonna be real. If I don't feel something for you, then I'm supposed to care. Like I guess, like our shark can chop it down. Like I guess I care about people. You know, you're a responsible human being. You know, your well-being and safety. That's cool. But I'm like, I think it's something deeper than that. Because to me, it's a matter of mindset and also feelings too. And I tell people, I haven't not got the feelings in a while since, you know, the lady I've been with now. Like everything's just been great. Like feelings are good, but also, you know, I'm not letting my feelings cloud my judgment. But you know what sucks? I wish I could. I'll be honest. You know, when you feel good, like really feel good, and you don't want that high to turn off. I think sometimes you should just let people bathe in that for a while. For a day. I ain't say forever, in a day. But you know, that's like, I feel like that's fictional writing we all see in Disney movies though. That feeling doesn't go away.
Good night, Mezzo.
I wish I saw everything, but as always I learned from what I did. See you, good night, Critical Thinking in chat. Take care. Mezzo. Thanks for the questions and the explanation you gave me. But I don't know, but that's what I think, Arshawn. I think, like I said, it has to do with your partner. You have to feel something for your partner. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, if we just like people talking, then you just know them as a fucking stranger to me. Like, why? That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, like I said, I thought I was incapable of not feeling about somebody, but I have on 22 occasions now. Second occasion now. So, you know, like I said, that feeling just don't just go to anybody. But it just, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's something simple. It's different for guys than it is for ladies. It really is. And it's like, wow. And also, like, stimulating our brains, too, also in the form of, we love when a girl does that. So often than not. I guess we say women like that, but I think guys, some men that I know love that more because she's actually asking me questions, getting to know me. I'm getting to know her because I really want to know more about her specifically. I'm trying to learn the whole catalog, but I'm trying to know enough. There's something there that piques our interest. Our interests pique each other, you know, intertwine. So like, you know, you got to do a lot of stuff for that. Getcha, bro.
Real quick, man.
Too much. At least he's real.
Play the play, bro. But I got you. Nah, yeah. I get it, Jay. But I do want to start wrapping this up. But I want to do something different with you, bro. I want to do something different with you and Wally because we always ask people to give their last words, but I want to do it different. I'm going to put a timer up. But I'm gonna take y'all one at a time. Let me start with you, Jay. Right?
Oh, and God.
I'm gonna start with y'all, Jay. It's gonna be like the hot seat. We're gonna play this like the hot seat.
All right, it's gonna be 10 seconds.
I'm gonna move you over here real quick. Hold up, real quick. Let me see. How do I do this? Hold up, I ain't done this in a while. You are in the hot seat. Give me a second. Bam. All right. So now listen. This is how we're gonna do this. First, name somebody you love and tell us about them in 30 seconds. Well, you got to name them. Tell us a person, like a role that you love, and tell us about them. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Oh, I'm about to tap out on that one.
Nah, Wally, say.
Okay, so person I love very dearly is the person I'm currently with right now, and I love them because they allow me to be myself. They allow me to be truthful with them. They allow me to, really be who I am. And also in regards, they brought out a side to me I never knew existed, and also I actually bring them smiles every day. So look forward to what comes next.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. All right. Now, tell us about your channel, Jay Takashi. 30 seconds.
Watashi wa Jay Takashi. So like I said, that means I'm Jay Takashi, my name. So my channel, we do anime, we do workable topics over there. Also, we do interviews, and also we do chill out sessions every Thursday. We'll go chill out this week, making calls. And also, me and Arshawn are working on something in the background we haven't told you guys, but it's going to be big. So just stay tuned. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel.
All right. One more quick, Jay. Because you didn't get your any other socials, like get all your social shout outs. I know you said you got your YouTube channel.
Okay. So like I said, guys, you can reach me. Oh damn, I should do this quickly. I'll speed run it. So my IG is jjohnson3242 on that particular app. And also, like I said, you guys can reach me on my Discord. My name is JEI. I'm gonna start adding posting those links to my channel soon. And also, like I said, new format will be changing. So, like I said, be on the lookout for anything new that comes out with notifications. You guys have a great night.
Man, appreciate you, man. Now it's time for Wale, man. Tell us somebody you love and tell us about them. 30 seconds. Go. Unmute.
Man, you would do this shit. Wait, what's the question? Okay, you said someone I love, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody you love, tell us about them. 30 seconds. Go.
All right, someone I love is basically my aunt. So my aunt was, she was very, I love her dearly. She's one of the many people when we go visit family that I literally would always love to meet. Literally go spend some time with and go enjoy my time with her. I had a very rich childhood with her and her husband. So yeah.
All right. Next question is, tell us about your channel, what it's about. 30 seconds. Go.
All right, my channel is Wealth Talks Production. At this point in time, I'm not back there yet, but I'm making a rerun to it. Also, I'll be bringing in a new channel soon enough, plus other channels that I will be associated with amongst another content creator. Amongst Wealth Talks Production, we basically talk about wealth and how to obtain it in our lives.
You don't let the clock run out, huh? Okay, tell us why you love chitlins. Go.
The heck?
No, all right, I'm just messing with you. Hit us with all your socials, man. Tell us where we can find you and all your socials. Go.
All right, on IG, you can find me the same way, Wealth Talks Production. TikTok, same, Wealth Talks Production. And I believe Twitter is the same, Wealth Talks Productions. I also have a Discord. That link is connected to my YouTube channel. I will probably consider Twitch soon enough as a new platform that I will, extend myself to. So in due time.
That's what's up. So bam, bring everybody back. I move myself over here. I am getting ready to. I'm gonna drop you guys backstage. In case y'all want to have something, chop it up afterwards. Just like I know Jay said something. I'm gonna bring y'all down. I'm just close the show and drop a rave for the last couple of people. Yareitas, it has been a pleasure seeing you. I'm so glad you back in this. It has been a pleasure seeing you, Critical Chicken the panel. Thank you so much. I really want to thank all of you for coming tonight. All of you that are left, we are getting ready to raid out on Twitch. YouTube is going to be awkward for it. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do I am going to start my what is it? What's that called? What is that called? Why can't I think? I am going to start the intro music. I'm going to have a raid for the Twitch people after the theme song exits out. All right. Anybody on YouTube, the stream will end for you at the end of the you know what I'm trying to say. The theme song, man. The theme song. Every superhero's got to have his theme music, right? So I got mine. Thank you to Princess K for singing it for me. I will see y'all next time.
It's been a long